Hello and welcome to the Nash Tackle Off the Hook podcast. Just to make you aware, this podcast may contain some explicit/offensive language, and if that's not your thing, you don't have to listen, but I have given you a warning. I hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
You don't know the half of it, but anyway. I'm skating on the thinnest ice known to man.
He said, and they put a poison in the tank that just instantly kills them. He went and we've run out of it, so we cut their heads off with shovels.
Suddenly, bang! The whole boat exploded.
Take your sort of 8-inch long piranha and imagine that at 4, 5, maybe 6 feet.
I said, I've revived your dead fish. F off, he said. You haven't.
That was just humongous. It was... I couldn't believe what I was looking at.
I'm just battling this fish out in the pond. I know it's a black man. I'm saying I'll never be a naughty boy again.
If you catch fish and you return them to the water, then you are my brother.
Wayne Mansford Ryan Need, welcome to the Nash podcast, boys. How the devil are you?
Thank you for having us.
Anytime, mate. You well, Ryan?
I'm good, mate. I'm good.
We got to tell the audience we might need to translate Ryan's very thick Brummy accent. He's already had some stick about it, but I'm not going to argue with him because he's an absolute lump. Wayne, mate, you been well? What you been doing recently?
Working. Just working, keeping my head down. We went to Manor the other week with South Coast Rods. Little social. Had 17 fish out there.
Not bad.
It's where a lot of people don't really know about the Manor, but that's where Mozza had the fully scaled from.
What a fish that is, mate.
Oh, it's an incredible fish.
You see it?
No, unfortunately not. It did come out the day after we left, but I got to see was it 37 you had?
Yeah. You said his mate.
Yeah, I see his mate. Yeah. The backup 37 fully, which was an epic fish. Probably the best fish I've ever seen in my life.
The best fish you've ever seen in your life?
By far, I think.
Wow, mate, that's some statement. You've seen a few, haven't you?
Yeah. Well,
Just a few.
just a few.
Right, mate, what about you? What you been up to?
Same, mate. Just working all the time. Ain't done much fishing for a while. Last time I went out was on the South Coast Rod Social.
And you caught the 37-pound fuller?
Yeah, got the coin off Wayne, but we'll talk about that later on.
I've seen the coin, mate. It's a gold medal and a rather cheap-looking coin, but I've been told that this coin holds more significance, maybe, than that gold medal, which could be quite interesting to talk about. You boys are, absolute terminators when it comes to BCAC, international competitions. You're reigning world champions, obviously, with everything that went on, and we're going to talk about the international stuff. The BCAC championships are stuff you've won. As a match fishing pair, probably there's very few that are as sort of expert to talk to us guys and me about all things match fishing. It's certainly not something that I do or have ever done. I don't think I've ever fished a carp fishing match. I don't think I have. But I'm really interested in that mentality, that mindset, and why you boys are so very much at the top of that game, boys. For you, match fishing, Ryan first, why match fishing, mate? Because you're an absolute brilliant angler in your own right, normal carp fishing if you like, targeting big uns or whatever you want to do, but why match fishing?
That's just competing, I suppose. I like to compete. I'm competitive, just the way I am.
Against other people? Because obviously there's the competition against carp when you're out there trying to target one or catch a certain big un, but you like that competition? Yeah,
I just like, as years have gone by, I've always caught fish, but I just found myself catching more fish than anybody else. So I was like, obviously, I'm good at this. Like, I just thought, I can do something with this. And I just followed what I want, just went after what I wanted to do. That's match fishing.
Yeah, fair dues.
It's not. At first, it was a little bit of, let's have a little go at this, see what this is.
Yeah.
But then as time went on and as I was getting older, I was getting better. And I thought, actually, I could be something in this, and just went from there.
Fair, mate. Kept catching them. Wayne, for you, why match fishing, mate?
Same as Ryan. I'm really competitive. No matter what I'm doing or what sport, whether I'm playing football or fishing, I want to be the best out there. I want to push myself.
And that's the reason why match fishing grips you, yeah?
Yeah.
Do when you fish for yourselves, and this is what I'm interested in, this is coming from me. When you're fishing for yourself, and I know, Rye, you're on Ringstead when I was on Ringstead, mate, and other venues where you're sort of big carp fishing or trying to target a fish like you were, and we're talking about that fully a minute ago, is the mindset, is the way you go about your fishing the same as when you're in a match type situation, or is it a different switch that you flick? Because they're very when I think about them in my head, they're very different, mate. Like, yes, you're trying to catch carp, and that's the general thing that connects them. But I think big fish going out fishing for yourself, and then within a team or within a pair, the dynamics are different to start with. The places you're fishing sometimes are different to start with. The type of sort of targets you're trying to achieve are different. Is it different for you, or do you just view it all as the same?
View it all the same.
Do you?
Yeah.
My days. Terminators all across the board, didn't you?
Yeah, I want to go and catch as many as I can.
Yeah.
Play the numbers game, and hopefully the big ones turn up.
Same for you, right?
This just said exactly what I was going to say. Look, you just play the numbers game, and that big one will come along. If there's 5 fish in the lake or 200 fish, you just play the numbers. That will come. Might be like we've been lucky in the past. Well, some people say it's luck, but we've caught the biggest fish in the lake in the first session a few times. So how can that be luck? Like, you don't, So yeah, but just fish for a bite. Basically, it might be you're fishing for a few bites. We might be fishing for one bite. It's just keep the bites coming. That's what we got to do, and it'll come.
Big fish, mate. All I can think of is Captain Jack. You boys on home fem, but you've had subsequent big uns from there, both of you, ain't you? What
Wayne's had a big
story that is.
Wayne's had a big one.
Well, it's due one.
Absolutely ridiculous, mate. Talk us through that, because that is big fish fishing, mate. You've gone there, and people can go there, they can try and target it. Maybe won't happen, but for you guys, you seem to have gone on there, caught big uns in your own fishing, and then also had hits subsequently in matches, etc. as well. Why do you think you're so consistent?
Just the way we read the situation, what's happening, an understanding of the lake. That big one, I was definitely due that, wasn't I?
Oh, well overdue.
So there's a couple of I think it was the second time I went there.
Yeah,
I'd had 8-9 fish, and I'd done Kneebone on the phone to me. Look, I need you to do this interview for Carp Talk. I need to get this over. Put your rods, leave your rods alone. And I just had a PB, which was I think 49 at the time. And a lad that worked for me, Ross, he was in the same peg, and I said, look, I'm going to wind in. I'll put your rods out, and then you can have it, just so that I can do this, get this interview over, because I'm getting a bit of ag. His first bite, 56. 56. Loved it for him. Great moment. He's gone and had a shower. I put his rod back out. I'm sat there filling in this email for John. It's gone again. I picked the rod up for him. I rung him, said, Ross, get round here. I've got another one on your rod. He's flown back round, 62.
You're joking.
I'm buzzing for him. At the time, that was the British brace record.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking,
It only got beat a few months ago.
And then the following year, went back there again. Rupert Whiteman come down to take some pictures and have a bit of a social, some food with us. And he said, Ginger, if that rod goes, I'm having it. I said, yeah, crack on. Arsenal were in the Champions League or Europa League that night. So I said, yeah, I'm going to cook some food, watch the football, you crack on. Off it goes, 52. So I'd given away a 52, a 56 and a 62. And my PB was 49. So to have that 75, I think I was due that.
Yeah, you're owed that.
Yeah, I was definitely owed that.
Sure, mate. What about you, Ryan, mate? Big fish, significant captures, pretty early doors. What sticks out in your head?
I don't know, mate. I've caught a few big ones anyway. It don't.
He's so casual about it, isn't he, mate? I love it.
That's what I mean. Like, it's to a lot of people, that's like, to me, it's just like whatever. Like, I've caught big fish all my life. It's just
you're like nonplussed, mate, by it, ain't you?
I've got caught Captain Jack twice actually.
Did you catch him twice?
Yeah, caught him once for the cameras for BT Sport and on the bank. Sorry. And then actually, I didn't go fishing again. For a few months because we just won the BCAC as well when I caught Catching Jack the first time for the camera. And then I went back again on a social first fish at a session, same spot, everything, same bait, everything.
Same spot you had him last time?
Yeah, and I had him again. But the second time I had him, I enjoyed it more the second time because I was with all my friends.
Yeah.
I could hold it properly and get some real good footage and pictures. The first time I just got a little picture on the phone.
You got a little picture on the phone because the cameras were there and everything.
Yeah.
But you got some video footage on the camera, didn't you? Like, as in the proper cameras.
Yeah, but I didn't get it though. It was on the telly, like. So it don't bother me though. Like, I'm not bothered.
You're not.
I do it all the time. I chuck 40s back and stuff. Like, it don't bother me. I don't go for a picture.
No,
I go because I enjoy fishing, and I'm addicted to my alarm.
You just want bites, don't you?
Yeah, just bites.
That's incredible.
It's boring playing them in.
That's what I was just about to say. You have the bite and let somebody else play in a 62-pounder. Like,
I do that all the time. I'm always giving them a run away.
Right, why am I fishing on my own, boys? Do you want to wind them in?
Well, fishing for me now, especially in the last, as I've got older, I just like to enjoy myself.
Yeah.
With
And
my mates
bites for
like.
both of you seems to be a consistent thing. That ability to be able to amass amount of bites, or maybe less bites on difficult venues, but a bite is what you're doing it for. That moment where the alarm goes.
That's the adrenaline. That's what kicks in. That's what I go for.
And
the chase. I like the chase. You know, hunting them down, like the design of your rig, what you're doing, how you're baiting, because baiting strategy is massive as well. Probably talk about that later on, but that's huge. People overlook all this, and like, but yeah, it's just a chase. Like the camaraderie, of the coin.
The coin. We'll talk about the coin in a very short moment. That, and then you combine that with that competition element against all the other anglers that are out there. That they're the things that sort of keep you motivated. Because let's face it, you've caught an infinite amount of carp here, abroad, everywhere, big uns, little uns, everything in between. And there has to be a point with everybody where like something you have to search for to keep you motivated, because once you've done all that, there is a time when that can wane. For you, that all that combined is what keeps the buzz and keeps the drive. Yeah, fair dues.
Once we reach like one goal, we set another target.
So we reset, don't we?
Reset, press the reset. It's like someone who's climbed a mountain. Like once they've done one, they find the next one to go and climb, and that's what. Once we've achieved one goal, we then put another one in place, and then we go for that.
I like that. I'm getting team collective, goal setting. This is good. What happens if you've climbed Everest? Where'd you go from that?
Do it faster.
Oh, good answer, mate.
I'll beat him anyway.
So you two, obviously, you've got a great dynamic. There's good banter. There's good camaraderie. You enjoy all that. Where did this sort of pairing, or you two meet, and the sort of idea of you in matches together start?
Go on.
What is it? Ryan sent me a message on Facebook 10 years ago, 11 years ago. Yes, he was fishing a match, Kingsbury Pine Pool. He said, "When you got a minute, mate, can you give me a call?" Sent me his number. So I rang him and said, "What's up?" He said, "You've been doing a match game a long time. I'm at Kingsbury Pine Pool. It's gone to a cast off. I want to use a fly rod for the cast off."
A fly rod?
And I was like, he said, "Is there anything in the rules?" I said, "I don't think so." But he said, "Yeah, I want to use a fly rod." And I thought, slippery bastard. But I like that. He's like a man after my own heart. Do you know what I mean? I thought, that is proper slippery, but I like that. Anyway, so that was that. And then later on that year, Ryan, we kept in touch and had a bit of a chat. Ryan said, look, there's a match in France. It's a TFG European Championships at Fisherville. Do you want to go and fish it? I was like, yeah, I'm up for that. It's something abroad. I've been to Fisherville before, back in 2001, done a European then. I'd like to go back. Then it turned out that you couldn't make it, could you?
No.
Unfortunately, Ryan couldn't make it. So I ended up going and fishing with Peter Leakey, who was my BCAC partner at the time, and we ended up winning it. And then the following year, he said about the BCAC, but I had a partner for the BCAC, and I wanted to stay loyal to Pete. I'd fished with him for a couple of years. But then the Eric's match came out.
Yes, I remember.
And I spoke to Pete about that, and he wasn't really interested. And then that's when me and Ryan got together, fishing the Eric's.
What year was that?
2015, wasn't it?
I think it was 2012 when I messaged you about that fly rod. I think it might have been 2014.
So
15,
in that bracket.
Yeah.
And from that point, Eric's as a pair, did you instantly sort of, obviously you've been chatting a bit, you'd probably seen each other about a bit around the scene, if you like, but was there, because there's sort of having a bit of banter, but then there's also sort of getting down to the nitty gritty of fishing together. How did that sort of connect instantly? Do you sort of understand each other? Did you have the same wavelengths in terms of your fishing, or were you very different?
Well, I'd say we're both on the same page from the off.
Same page, but we had different styles. I was very cute, and Ryan was very crude.
We still are.
There's a time and a place for a bit of both. And I remember when I first see you come to Farlow's, didn't you?
Yeah.
To have a practice, and I was like, "What the fuck? What you got on there?" Like, no, you want to soften this up. This is how you catch them here: small hooks, small baits, and then he changed and went and caught one. And then some of my angling, like going to B1, Ryan's quite crude there. Well, I lost a lot of fish due to hook pulls, but went to crude, Ryan's tactics, and then I started landing like probably 95% of my bites. So we found a fine balance. I'd say I'm the cuter angler, Ryan's the crude one, but combine the two, and there's a time and a place for both. Yeah. And it's just been a match made in heaven.
So you complement each other in terms of that, definitely. What about any friction, any sort of like personality clash when the pressure's on, all that sort of thing? Have you always been pretty harmonious? You always been sort of, is there a leader to it in the dynamic or not?
Neither of us take control, or it's none of that. We're all equal, both of us. Like, I listen to Wayne listens to me.
We've both got a role, haven't we?
Yeah.
And we both know our roles, but we haven't spoken about that. It's just come natural. I don't think there's ever been a cross word whilst we've been in a peg, even like when we're tired. And it just...
Even when we're not in a peg. Like,
What's the roles? Talk to me about these roles. I don't know how that works. There must be somebody. If you're thinking crude, you're thinking finesse. Maybe it meets in the middle, or maybe you go for one, but there must be some sort of decision ultimately made or something by somebody.
A lot of the... Well, yeah, we have got a set way how we fish now, haven't we, after all these years? And it's just we've refined how we fish together. I mean, Wayne fishes like we do when we're together. I fish like I do on my own, as if we're together. It's just the way we've changed the way we do what we do. And it's just evolved. That's what fishing. That's how you get better, by evolving. We strip everything back sometimes, and then we'll look at it again, assess what's going on. That's another thing what we do a lot of as well. We step back, where a lot of people don't. But when you step back from a situation, you can assess it better, and you can look at it in a different way. And then we're straight in and doing it before anybody else has. That's why we are where we are.
Talk me through that process, right? Because that sounds pretty important. That sounds like something anybody can gain from that. What do you mean by, how do you step away and strip it back? What do you do?
Well, yeah, B1, we've got 4 rods out. We're spodding up. We start having takes. Wayne's spodding, I'm spodding. We're tandeming. We always put a lot of bait in from the off and keep topping up. But when the fish turn up, if you've got four rods there, and both trying to spot, it's just not possible. So the best thing to do is either strip it down to 3 or strip it down to 2. Have the rest of your gear all rigged up, ready to go, and then one of your spot. And then when it does get a bit hectic and it's all going whatever, you can always just drop the spot rod quickly, jump on a rod, play the fish in, or when Wayne's finished or I've finished, whatever. It's just we've got no qualms in playing a fish halfway in and going here. It doesn't matter to us. It's not about the picture at the end. It's not about that. The picture at the end is holding the trophy and holding the check. That's the trophy. So fish don't matter. That's the marshal's job to look after that. And that's what it is. A lot of people in the match scene, the more interested in the gear, like how the rods look, or how we'll sort this fish out. Like, that's not down to you. Like, once it's in that net and it's on that mat, it's down to the marshal. Just leave that and just carry on. Like, that's another fish.
Yeah.
Why you all stood there, like signing your piece of paper, watching them do what they're doing, weighing it and whatever. Like, I've caught another fish. We've both caught another fish. So it's just like at times, especially a lot of our matches that we fish as well, we fish on high stock venues. So
yeah.
That's why we strip down to 2s. We've done 2s a couple of times, but most of the time we strip down to 3 when the fish turn up. It's just carnage.
You lose more.
And like, as in, like, when you're spudding as well, because like, we constantly spud. That's another thing. And obviously, you know, we have breaks and whatever, but and like, you have accidents, you know, you'll crack off. Your spud will go west or whatever. So we've got between us, how many spud rods we got?
4, 5.
Well, that's saying I've got 4.
In total, yeah.
He's got 4 or 5 himself.
He busts everything. Yeah,
I'm prone to breaking stuff, like, because I don't mess around. Do you know what I mean? If it's going 150, I'm casting it. So I'm giving it 200. Do you know what I mean? So it gets to 150, no problem.
Mate, you are giving it 200, lad.
No, but that's how you do it, innit? Do you know what I mean? You go all in. No, you commit. You know what I mean? And that's what we're like. We'll have like 50, 60 rigs knocked up. Like, you know. In one match, we caught 100 fish. And then was like, you know what? That's enough. We'll see you later. We left. And we had a barbecue on a Saturday afternoon.
God, fuel the beat. What about like practice? Because obviously, like, there's a lot of people that fished a lot of the venues that for instance, the BCAC, a lot of the Eric's venues that are on. They might fish consistently. There might be locals, etc. Is it a case of you actively practicing on those venues, or are you taking whatever you have learnt, gleamed, and what we're going to discuss later in terms of what you've come to and how to fish? Could you take it pretty much universally anywhere and be confident that without any practice you'd do well?
No, I think you've got to practice a venue. But the venues that we've been fishing, like B1, Farlows, we knew them venues, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we don't want to draw attention to ourselves by fishing it. Okay.
So there is that element as well of protection of what you know when you do, but you do need to practice.
I've got 32 years experience on Farlows. I've been fishing it since I was a kid. I was a bailiff there, so I knew what swims, where the fish would be, how they would feed. We actually entered a match, didn't we, prior to winning the BCAC, the Farlows Cup.
Yeah.
To try a method that we used in the final.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So we entered this match the weekend prior to the BCAC on there, because we knew not too many people were going to come around, but we could have a go, and we drew an absolute dead peg. It was never going to catch a fish. It was a complete waste of time, so we left.
Didn't fish it at all?
Didn't even get the stuff out of the van.
Didn't even get the stuff out of the van. Just went. So I went back to work. Ryan went back up north. Then we came back on the Sunday for the presentation, shook everyone. So now the lake's dead. Now we slipped round to where we wanted to be. Had a quick practice because a lot of the boys were there over the weekend, all the locals.
Yeah.
So the lake was empty now. Everyone had been there, done their bit, gone home. So we basically had the lake to ourselves, didn't we? And we hurt it.
Well, how badly did you hurt it?
Yeah.
I was going to work at 6 o'clock in the morning, coming back at 6 at night, and between the two of us, it's over 30 fish. And this isn't a 48-hour session, so we knew, and that's when we talk about the goals that we had. But then our goal was, if we get within a certain area on Farlows, let's go for the record, the BCAC record.
Right.
And
so it weren't winning it; it was just going for ridiculous.
Yeah, we just wanted that. Yeah, we knew we could win it if we was in the right area, but we wanted to break the record whilst doing it, because we'd already our goal the previous year was to become British champions.
Yeah.
We've done that. Now we set the next bar and start taking the records away from people.
Fair play, mate. You are full on, isn't you? It's intense. I can feel it here and on this side of the camera.
That's what you do, though, isn't it, mate? You know, when you do something.
It's definitely not what I do, mate. You know?
No, but anything, though, when you do something, you do it, though. You know, you don't like just dip your little toe in and have a little play. You just wholeheartedly just go for it.
Yeah, there's levels to that, though, I think, mate. I think you're being modest with yourself in terms of that. There's people that will think that they're putting their all in, and then there's what's gone on, and I know what we're going to talk about later. For you, that first Eric's competition, talk me through that, mate. Your first sort of match together. How did that all pan out and go?
Well, the first, we entered the Eric's, Farlow's home turf for Wayne. We didn't do too well, to be honest. But if it was too early, when it was too early. It was too cold. We was in the wrong area for that time of year. Another month later, we'd have been fine. We'd have been in the mix.
Where did you end up?
It was in Critchfields.
Right.
If people that know Farlows will know that peg. But it was just too early.
March, wasn't it?
Yeah, and if people that know Farlows and know the lake, they're still in the bowl then. They ain't come out of there yet. And it was just too early. And like I said, another month, we'd have been home and dry, like we'd have been in the mix. So it was back to a drawing board. Back with that, it was it's like having 2 goes at the FA Cup, and you shouldn't really do it. But you know, we was hungry at the time. We're still hungry now, but we was really, really hungry then. And we booked again for Farlow's. Sorry, for Farlow's. Yeah, Walthamstow. And I let Wayne carry on that one.
Walk in the park.
Really?
Yeah.
Good draw, good area, smashed it.
The draw wasn't that mid-table to late draw, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's all watercraft draws. So
it's all watercraft. Yeah, it wasn't one of the favoured areas that we needed to be in. And we fished a completely different tactic to what everyone does on there. We just fished, didn't even put one bit of bait up, just single pop-ups. Slammed in. I remember one cast, you could actually hear a stone on the bank. You could actually hear it go clunk off a stone. That's how tight we were going. And we had 20, 30 fish.
Just singles?
Just singles.
What was it, tight to an island?
Tight to the island, yeah. All Morphlestone ones, you got just the main island in the middle.
Yeah.
We was 3/4 down it in one bank on the short chuck side and just slamming it up to this bush. And we had like 30 odd fish.
It was quite funny, to be honest, that one. We was actually chatting about it in the van when we was having a little giggle about it. It was because you tie it up against the island. I mean, this is just another thing that we just take for granted, but other people would think, oh, yeah, that's a brilliant idea. Like Wayne's mate Tom, he does mountain biking, and he's got a really strong light on the front of his bike. This is like, it's stupidly strong. Like my Wayne, we always borrow it off him, don't we? If we're going in a match that's got islands, and we just turn it on. One of us hold it up in the pitch black, but it's like daylight, like when you put the light on it. I mean, anyone that knows Walthamstow will know how far the island is. You're talking like minimum 100. On the other side, it's 120s, like. And just hold it straight up to the island. But I can't remember the team next door to us. But we had him out. That every time we turn our light on and recast, he was doing it. So we had him out. Like, anyway, he tried to do it the first. We let him do it the first time because we was trying to get the rods out, and then he tried to do it again, but we turned it off.
Put it on for him, heard him cast, and then flicked the torch back in the sky. No, we just heard it crack through the trees on me and him. That's what I'm saying. Like when he rung me about the fly rod, I thought, he's a bit of a laugh, this lad. He's got something about him, and then it was just like the skullduggery with that. It was just,
it is harsh, but like, you know,
we're competing against you.
Do you know what I mean?
We're not going to help you win.
So like, you know,
there's 30 grand at stake here, and if us leaving that light on for you is going to nick you that 30, no chance, mate.
Sorry, bro.
Dog eat dog.
To be fair though, he is actually using your light there, isn't he, as well? So like, there is a bit both ways, but you've done him a kipper. So 30 fish fishing tight to the island, really tight though, yeah?
Yeah, mate, like, ridiculous. Like, even, I was saying to Wayne on the way up here, because I was talking about it, and I'm not going to say that the fella's name, he's a good lad, but he was next to us and he just come round, he's like, how are you doing that? So I just can't, and he couldn't get his words out. He's like, I just can't believe how tight you're getting it. It's just like, we're trying and it's just not working. But like on the side that we was on, it's all changed now at Walthamstow. They've put a fence round so you can't ping up right tight to the island anymore because they've got a fence there something to do with the reeds or something. But at the time, if you're not 6 inches, then you're coming off the shelf. Like you just get a really long drop, like, so you know you're not on it. But like you've got to basically like, but this is like, I think it was about 140. I can't remember. It's 100 and something, no more than 120. But you can't, because there's a canopy as well. So you can't send it up in the air and float him in and like tap him on, you know, tap the spool to like slow him down so it just hits the clip nice and you go with it. You can't do that now. You're drilling it. Yeah, and like,
that's savage, isn't it? What rig are you using with that? Just a normal little pop-up rig?
Yeah,
what are you using?
Yeah, just a normal little.
So you are risking like hanging it up a tree, ain't you, all the time? You're not chucking a bag there where you could get a bit of leeway, maybe potentially.
Sometimes you'd have a little clip on the way in, like, but experience tells you that'll do. That's him. We're in. Let's go. We're on, and that's how it was. Like in your hand on it sometimes.
Yeah, fishing Walthamstow was like bread and butter for me because I've grown up on Farlows.
Yeah,
and it was a bit of an eye opener for Ryan because I don't use a clip.
You just go no clip to the island.
Yeah, no clip because in my head, I'm fizzing it in hard and fast, and it's clipping the trees and it's going under. Because if you're hitting the clip, you've got that swing back. I want that going under them canopies.
That's horrendous.
And if people say, no, he's not doing that, Rob Hughes has been out and filmed me.
So you literally are casting so that the lead on contact, rather than hitting a clip and coming even...
It's clipping a leaf.
It's going literally in on an angle.
Yeah. And then projecting forward under that bush.
I know.
How'd you gauge that, mate? You just watch it? What do you do?
Just watch, yeah. I was doing that. That's how I grew up, fishing farlows every weekend against the islands.
I think I spoke to the Dineshis about this and they said the same. I think they go no clip with a bag to an island. But like if you're going with a pop-up rig and a nice exposed bit of steel, I'd be up some trees, I'll tell you what, boy.
Oh, it does happen.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but you just got to be brave. When you want to catch.
When I first seen him do it, I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, what are you doing? You're going to end up in a tree and there's be a line in there. Like, no. He's like, no. And then, after watching him, 10, 15 times more, I'm yeah.
Is that you now as well? No clip?
I can do it and all, yeah. It's just I let Wayne. Yeah. I can do it as well, can't I? I just don't.
Certain times on islands, like we'll talk about the farlows bit in a minute, but we had a clip on that bit because we had a big opening there, didn't we? Like a plateau in front of us on this island, so it was all right to use the clip there. We had a big opening, but when you've got a tree, and some trees sometimes have like a little opening on them, that there,
no
clip, that's me going in that.
And that's the difference, in it, because a lot of people can fish it. All right, they might not be like at the bottom of the shelf, but they might be just on that shelf. If you're another foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, that is often the difference. They push that way, ain't they?
Yeah.
Fair play, yeah. That is no clip. That scares the life out of me, mate. I'm not going to lie. From Walthamstow, where was it to next?
Drayton.
Oh, the home of the brave. I've been there a few times. That's no sleep, absolute madfest, isn't it?
Not for us.
Was it not?
No, it just went horribly wrong.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
In what sense?
We just made a mistake. Come out quite late in the draw, but I think the way we fished it, sometimes you just got to put your hand up and say, look, certain things we've done within that match, we got it wrong. We got beat. So we went away, learnt from it. And it's all part of the learning curve. I think every session and every match you fish, you're taking something from that. We definitely took something from that, didn't we?
1,000,000%.
And we spoke about it for days on end, weeks on end, months. But we realised our mistakes and we put it right the following year.
What's the mistake?
Being too crude. That was one of the main ones.
Yeah.
And there weren't many pegs left when we come out, but...
Just the tactic, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was basically the tactic. There weren't many pegs left where we come out. We was in a deep area. We'd have liked to have been in the shallows, but like Wayne said, the main problem was the tactic. We got it totally wrong.
Sometimes you just got to put your hands up.
Yeah,
do you know what?
Definitely.
We fished as hard as we could, but we called it wrong.
Like we weren't completely out, was we?
No,
we was up, we
were second in section, but you had to win your section, and we weren't far off winning our section, but it wasn't enough. And if we went back there now, it'd be totally different, and it'd be walking apart.
You strike me as the type of lads that don't like second, but also the type of lads that would ruin yourself if you have a bad one. Like you just talked about punishing each other there on the phone about it all. Some people might just forget it, move on to the next one. But there definitely is an extensive bit of feedback and debriefing on everything in there between you two. You can see that straight away. For you, when that happened and sort of it didn't go to plan, is that as important as when they do go to plan in terms of your angling?
100%.
Massive. That's probably more important than actually qualifying or winning the match.
Yeah.
Because you learn from experience, don't you? And them experiences you learn from doing the wrong thing. You never learn from doing the right thing. Well, you do, but not. It's more so doing the wrong things. You think, I'm doing that again, and because it's punished you for doing the wrong thing, you will not do that again. And we beat ourselves up about it. Like we shouldn't. But it's kind of good that we do because we come back and that will never happen again. Or it will never happen.
You take it out of your fishing. Where it's like Ryan's saying, if you win, you don't really think them silly mistakes. You've overlooked them because you've won. But when you lose, you can analyse it and think, right, I'm never doing that again. And you're learning from it, which only makes you better.
Yeah, I like that, mate. Yeah. As a pair from there, what what happened with regards to getting into the BCAC and then sort of competing further from that point? Because obviously you've got off to a mixed start, but you've obviously had some chemistry as a pair. You've enjoyed it. From there, I'm guessing you've said, right, well, let's look at X and Y next year and going about fishing more together as a pair.
So, yeah, the following year we went to done the Erics again, and we went to Barston up in Birmingham, Ryan's local water.
That is busy, mate. He's on there full time, I've heard.
Yeah.
Still now.
He keeps it quiet, but yeah, he's...
Round of golf and a few carp.
Catch me on me box there.
So, yeah, went to Barston, come last out the draw.
Last out the draw.
Last out the draw, real late one, up just to the right-hand side of the island, weren't we? Lucky enough to qualify.
Well, I wouldn't say lucky there, Wayne, to be honest, Bridge.
What was it?
We had to grow. I thought we had to grow. We changed tactics about 4 times, didn't we?
Mm.
Barston, for anyone who don't know it, I would say like a mixed fishery. There's matches on there in terms of like bream matches, even silverfish matches, and obviously carp matches. But you've got everything from sort of F1s through to like mid doubles, 20-pounders.
Yeah.
But there's a big head of fish in there.
Yeah.
What were the keys in terms of changing tactics on there? Because you're going to get bites, but being able to sort of amass a weight, you've got to be pretty efficient, haven't you?
Yeah, it's boilie fishing on there, a lot of it.
Yeah.
Just pinging boilies with a catapult, short range, over zigs or a little 3-bait stringer. So we was like 3-bait stringers, weren't we?
Yeah.
Zigs.
Sticks.
And then the last bite that we needed, I remember it now, the last bite was on the bag.
Yeah.
Bag of pellet.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Was it tight then? Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, now I'm thinking back, now I'm remembering it.
It was the section we was in, when it was in a bit of a shitty section. And like anyone that knows Barston, it's like round by the green, sorry. And down the opposite end, it's either end of the lake basically. Yeah. Anyone that's in the middle is like you got to work and scratch. And basically, we was in the shitty area of the rubbish swims, if you like.
You near that island or not?
Yeah, but we was on the riverside, which is yeah. But we managed to do it in the end. But yeah.
Down to the wire, one fish. How does that feel when it's down to one fish? Do you like that pressure? Does that help? Sort of, I don't know. Does that give you more of a sort of a buzz or more of an edge when it gets to those sort of fine margins? Because that's got to be like, there's a lot of time, but also when the chips are down, like they're key moments, aren't they? Yeah. Any sporting event, any competition, there's people who can deal with them and thrive in them, and people who sort of can struggle when it's all sort of lumbered on them. That realisation of, oh dear, it's coming down to this, and they can crumble. For you boys, you enjoy that? That's what you do it for?
Yeah, definitely.
So cool, mate. And yeah, you'll love it. From there onto your semis. Where were your semis?
B2.
Yeah, B2. Yeah.
Which was
fished after match on my own there. Might add. Someone was on the piss.
I go Royal Ascot every Friday. So I left Ryan to the draw. Rocked up Friday night.
Did you draw well though?
Yeah, drawed all right. Yeah,
that's all
didn't
right.
need him.
Didn't have nothing by the time I got there, though, did he?
I did.
The bivvy up. You had the bivvy up, mate.
He had the Barbie on. Yeah, so I rocked up, smashed.
Yeah, he was.
Wow.
I was smashed. I still made it there, but yeah, I was smashed, and I just pub chucked 2 4 times. I was like, fuck this, right? I've got to sleep, mate. And cut the paracetamol. I'll see you in the morning. I'll come to life then. Woke up Saturday morning. We was in a bit of a sorry state, weren't we?
Yeah, we were. I think we was about 6th, 5th or something.
I think it was like 1.9th, like banging trouble. It was time to give me a head a wobble, put some cold water on the face, and have a chat with it.
You were 9th. He's just got out of bed, but he's in a slightly better state than when he joined you. From that point, and I don't know who's in the field or how far you are behind, but on that type of venue, there's obviously a decent head of carp. Is there ever a point where you boys think, well, that's it, I can't catch up? Or
no?
Do you always think there's a chance, yeah?
No.
Yeah, on them sort of venues, there's always a chance, isn't there?
Actually, on that venue, in that match, we was catching till the very end. They weighed fishing after the hooter that we had sacked up. That's how tight it was. And we were still at it. Yeah, and we qualified, look. We got through in the end. We've had a few like that, haven't we? We never give up, like, ever. You You don't.
He wouldn't need to. Like, if he turned up on time and was in an absolute mess, mate, it'd have been done in a day. Could have sat back and had a nice 24 hours.
But like, that's what partners are for, ain't they? Do you know what I mean? He had some engagement he had to do, or whatever.
Yeah.
I know he was pissed, but it had been planned for, over a year or so, something like that. So he's got to go. It don't matter. You know what I mean? It's just
B2. Give me the secrets. Give me what is key here. Because again, on all these venues, and we're going to talk about later chapters and internationals as well, the consistency of you two, and I've said it 3 or 4 times, you're absolute terminators, but the consistency that you turn over these venues, like, and catch the amount of fish you catch has drawn some negative connotations, gossip, stuff we'll talk about again in due course. But when you look at it on the face of it, and I said it before, when that BCAC draw, you look down and there's yourselves and another maybe couple of pairs that realistically, when you see it, you think, right, they're going to win it. It is as simple as that. And I'm not being disrespectful to them, but they're all better anglers far than I'll ever be. But when you look at it, it's consistency. Is there's 3 or 4 pairs that will always be at the top there, in and out, time and time again. They're on similar venues a lot of the time. We're referencing B2. What are the keys for you boys over the years that you fished it? Why are you so consistent on there?
I'd just say we're hungry. That's it. We're just hungry. If there's fish in the lake, we're catching them. That's it. It's just, I don't know what else.
Accurate baiting on there, isn't it?
Yeah, accurate baiting.
They come to the spot.
On like high stock venues like that, they come to the spot. As soon as you put bait in, they're there. But people don't take advantage of it. Like, we've been doing this a long time. Like, Wayne's been, carp fishing 32 years. I've been fishing for about 30. Between us, we've got 62 years of experience. There's not much we don't know. So, and we've been in situations that many times that we know what to do. Look, that sounds blasé, but that's it. We can read what's happening. We can read what's going on. Look, or your man next to us here, or 2 swims down, he's just had one, and the next one, and the next one. Oh, they're on the way. Right, let's fill buckets ready, and we hold them.
I think we can hold them a lot longer than others.
Why is
the
that?
amount of bait we put in that Saturday, didn't we? We had 2 fox buckets filled with maggots, casters, and corn, wasn't it? And we give it to them. We didn't stop until the sun went down, did we? And then through the night, got the first bite, and then we noticed on the first bite, do you remember the amount of maggots it was shitting out? I think we was fishing solids over the top. And I was like, going to change that. I think we get a quicker bite, went it to the Medusa rig. And Rob Greening was our runner at the time. I was like, Rob, get up, tie the Medusas up. This is how I want them. I need loads knocked up. Put it out, and then it was just take after take after take. And then it was like, right, now let's get back on that spom, keep them going. And it was like that through the early hours of the morning all the way to the end of the match.
It's just noticing these things. Like, like you have a couple of fish through the night, you'll sack them up ready for the marshal to come in the morning. And then when they're getting weighed, when you look in the sling, like all the time, there'll be like corn skins in there, maggot skins, castor skins, whatever there's more of, that's what you change to. And then it's just like, it's just common sense. Well, I look at it as like common sense. Like, you see what they're eating, sand. Let's go. That's it. You're off.
It's a pretty efficient process, mate, by the sounds of it. Like, you do catch them, but as you say, there is a constant sort of not comparison or compilation of information between the two of you, isn't there? You can see that. I know you fished them a long time, but you've sort of, the time at which you fished them, you've clearly absorbed a lot of information, not just from what you boys have done, but from what you've seen elsewhere and historically, and then use that in later sort of later matches or sessions.
A lot of matches as well get dictated to the people that are around you.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't know how to say this without insulting anybody, but if we get just some randoms next to us and then some randoms this side, no disrespect to these randoms, but that's easy for us. Like, but then if we get Kevin Bart next to us there, and Jack and Lewis this side, then it's game on. Like, we've got to, Pull our socks up and look, get your thinking cap on, right, let's go. Yeah, I mean, we're going to battle. So it depends, like, who's around you and, you know, how matches get dictated.
Fair dues. From there, you B2 went well after the slow start, shall we say? Happy days, and then on to, is that your first final together, that Eric's pairing, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Where was the final?
Farlows.
Was it revenge?
No.
No.
It was a bad draw, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was...
in the pads?
No, Scott's first.
Pads first. Pads first with Rob, and then Scott's was the one after.
Was he?
Yeah.
It's another fight, boys, here. We don't need this. We talked about chemistry and you always getting on. It's no an argument. How do you react to bad draws? Because that's a feature of match fishing. It's something that as carp anglers, I've talked to loads of carp anglers, the frustration can be busy syndicates where they can't get on fish. If you match fishing, watercraft draw, you come out, every single peg is gone that you ever want to get in, and you're in some corner where you know it's not going to do any fish. How does that, I mean, that must deflate you, mustn't it?
I'll be honest, it does you, doesn't it? Like, if we get a shitty peg, you're like,
Sometimes you just know, no matter how good you are, how good your bait is, and how hard you try, you're pissing into the wind. But you've got to stand there and try. I just done a match the other week with Amy Eaton, former England lady.
Yeah.
And I said to her, do not draw C13 or C12. I wasn't going home. We came out third in the draw, but it was an out the bag draw. She pulled C13. I was like, you. Can I call it?
Yeah.
I was like, you. I said it to her face anyway.
Twice now, brilliant. Yeah. Well,
yeah, you just know sometimes it's not going to happen. But that year at Farlow's, we drew the pads. And I was like, okay. But in the pads, you've always got the chance of moving out. And when they go out,
they're gone.
Yeah, they're gone. But we started well, didn't we?
yeah, that was where you was slipping them down the margin, weren't you? Well, that's because Wayne's left-handed. I'm right-handed. So he casts anything left, or he's the man. Anything right, I'm the man. And he was whacking it right down a corner that, like, me and you would never get it. Never.
Yeah.
90% of people would never get it there.
That is an edge, isn't it?
Yeah, massive.
It was an edge at Raysbury, wasn't it? We'll come to that one. But first year we won the final. There's actually a video of me casting left-handed, like 100 yards down the margin, like sideways.
Winner, mate. It's probably never been fished there.
No, you can't get to it.
No,
you can't
definitely
get to it.
not.
And it was a place that I've been baiting.
Do you have to play fish on his rods?
Yeah, I know. It don't change the reel handles. He's got, like, if you used to, honestly, Hassan, if you used to watch him cast, you'd be like, what's this mincer doing? Do you know what I mean?
Swapping hands.
Yeah.
So I cast left-handed. As it's in the air, I'm then picking the rod up. Right.
So you whack it out as it's in the air, you swap hands.
And it's just, but for me, it's just natural. That's how I've taught myself as a kid. I've been doing that since my dad first took me. I was probably at 6 years of age.
You need to have, well, do your dad swap the handles over, Dad?
No, but I couldn't do it now. I see like Tom Maker does it that way, and I was just like, oh no, couldn't be doing that.
That's a nightmare, mate. I've picked up a left-hander's rods with the rear handle the other way, mate. It's absolutely horrendous. I couldn't imagine playing a fish in a match that way, but if he's got the rear handles on the right side, that's fair dues. My days. So, obviously, draw-wise, not great. Moving on from that point, let's talk about your first sort of win as a pair. Where was that? What competition?
Qualifiers and semi-finals.
Qualifiers and semi-finals.
Yeah, so the following year after that, we done our first BCAC together, didn't we?
Yeah.
We'd spoken to Rob Hughes, who'd now become England manager.
Yeah.
And he'd picked his team via the winners of the Erics, which was Harry, BCAC, Bones and Rivers, and he took Billy and Jamie as the other pairing because they had seasoned internationals. They'd done a lot. And I've known Rob a long time. He'd given me my first breaking fishing. He'd done a carpology feature with me. We'd always stayed in touch. And I just said, look, what have I got to do to be in with a shout? And he said, if you want my honest opinion, you need to fish with Ryan at the British stage as well.
Yeah.
Become more of a seasoned pairing, get some more experience together, and then we'll have a look at you. He said, you're knocking on the door, but so are loads of other pairs. But you are someone we're keeping an eye on. So I spoke to Ryan and I spoke to Pete, that was my BCAC partner at the time, and just said, look, there's possibly an opportunity for me. I want to pursue my dream. Can I fish with Ryan? And he let me do it.
Yeah,
And then that year when we entered the BCAC, I couldn't make the qualifier. I had to send Ryan. I shouldn't have. My granddad was ill and I couldn't make it.
Yeah. So you got to drop him a text.
But he actually he took me in disguise, didn't you?
Yeah.
He sent me a picture and said, "Don't worry, bruv, you're here with me." And he'd had a storm pole with a set of orange glasses on it and a little stick man on it to replicate me, and he stuck it in the back of the peg. And he got us through.
Where was that solo? Where were you fishing?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
I've bailed him out that many times. I couldn't tell you, mate.
I couldn't tell you the name of the lake. Yeah, I can't. Nah, I ain't got a clue.
It's up in Newcastle, wasn't it?
It's Newcastle. It's the furthest. I mean, I do fly fishing and salmon fishing as well. And where that is further than I go to salmon fishing. I go like just before Newcastle to do my salmon fishing on the Tyne. And this was just past Newcastle.
Salmon angler. I've seen a photo of you with a big salmon actually on your Instagram, mate. I said incredible angling. Yeah, fair play.
Yeah, and I drove all the way up there on the Thursday. It took me, like, especially in the fishing van and all, it took me about 4 or 5 hours, something like that. Fished all weekend on my own, solo. Kept sending him loads of pictures.
Did you?
I think there weren't many people in the qualifier, to be honest, but the lake was huge. I think it's about 90 acres, 80 acres, something like that.
Wow.
I think I had 2 or 3. Anyway, I won the qualifier anyway. Yeah, got us through to the semi.
That sounds like a difficult qualifier, mate. 90 acres, two or three fish.
It was the grueler because I was on my own.
Yeah, I think it went to a cast-off, didn't it?
Yeah, the other people. No one else caught. I was the only person to catch, like. But, mate, yeah. I was whacking them to the sun.
How far can you... I bet you...
The geezer the other side in the match was moaning that I was going too far in a 90-acre pond.
How can you go too far in a 90-acre pond? Was he picking him out of his margin?
I had them, like. Yeah.
So you've got basically, once again, he's got you through to the next round. Where's that? What's your thoughts when you go into that? You've had a few qualify, seems to be all right. Semi-finals seems to have been all right. And then it's, again, that final just seems to be down to a draw at the moment in terms of where you've come unstuck, isn't it?
Yeah.
Next round, semi?
B2.
Yeah, B2.
Beach swim.
Yeah.
Oh. How many?
Ripped in a new arsehole. Excuse my language. How can I say?
But we didn't for the first 24, or the first definitely 12 hours, because we remember we woke up on the Saturday morning and was like, I had nothing yet. Where are they? And Jack and Lewis were 2 pegs up to our right, weren't they? Because Miranda Brown was next to us, if you remember right.
Yeah, you shook to a lead, didn't you? Yeah, I remember that.
You what?
On the Saturday, Miranda Brown come round to us. She's next to us.
I know Miranda. Yeah.
And she said, "How are you boys catching so many?" I said, "Oh, look, the rig's up there, Miranda. Go and stick it on if you want." It was a... And she said, "The hook's blunt." I said, "Don't worry about that. Just put a bigger lead on. That's what I do." And that... Sorry, Miranda. But yeah, it's something that we still laugh about now. Yeah, just chuck a bigger lead on that like Miranda did. But yeah, the fish, what actually happened was they'd cut the weed the week previous.
Okay.
And Jack and Lewis had caught a load of fish. And I come back from seeing Jack and Lewis and then my rod's hanging up the bib. I said, "What's up with that?" He said, "I just got cut off. I've lost one on your rod," or something like that. Cast back out. And it was like, the drop's not there. Cast back out. Weed again. I was like, check my wraps. I was like, something's wrong here. So I've got to find a new spot. I just ended up having the ump a little bit, tossed them back out onto this spot. And then got my marker rod out and driving up, and all of a sudden it's tanked off, didn't it?
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck's going on here then? It must have been where the weed was cut. It just drifted over the spot for a minute. Yeah. And then the rest was history there, wasn't it? But there's a key point there. We had, so in the beach, you've got like a little bay to your left, haven't you?
Yeah.
How many fish rocked up? The bay was black. I mean, you could walk across them, but we left them. Because no one else could fish for them. It was like, we're just flicking a few boilies at them every now and again with a catapult, but we was fishing directly out in front of us. We just let, because we thought, if we're not going to fish for them, we're not going to push them out, and no one else can catch them whilst they're in there. That's our mindset, and sometimes the way we think. So yeah, we just left them in there.
I did have a little dabble on them, didn't I, on the Sunday morning?
On the Sunday morning.
I was like, I'm having one out of their tins. I ain't having this. I'm sick of watching them. I just whipped a couple of zigs in there. Yeah, that'll do.
It's done Sunday morning, though, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah, they left. They left. Like,
Straight away.
Straight away. As soon as he done it, you had that fish, and then they were gone. So if we had done that within the match,
yeah, somebody else would have had them.
that's it.
Would you? Do you do things like? I mean, I don't know, because as I said, I haven't ever sort of been in that sort of, especially that level of competition. Would you have put like a line there to keep them in as well? Could you sacrifice a line like that and literally put them in to keep them in the bay or anything like that? Or do you genuinely, like you've left them, obviously you kept them there, do you generally just fish your spots and have no sort of bearing with regards to that when you're out on longer spots? Or could you do something like that? Is that in the rules?
Yes, well, within the rules, you couldn't put your marker out for a long period of time.
Yeah.
But if you know that they're there and you've got a good pair next year, and then fish, you can cut them off. You put a tight line.
Yeah, I've done that in previous matches when I haven't fished with Wayne. In other matches before teamed up with Wayne, other partners.
The old cut off.
Yeah, I've done it.
There you go, boy.
It's a match. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
if we weren't in a match, I wouldn't be doing it. Like, but yeah, I'll sacrifice the rod. I'll just put a solid on and just wang it in the reeds.
Don't know, I'm friend, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah, but that's to you.
Cut them off.
Yeah, he cheese wired me up.
That's all right, mate. That.
Out filming with mainline, he's like,
You don't need this.
yeah, he's in the beach swim. I'm in the dugout. I've had a few fish, just had a 59 buzzing. He's like, not having this, Reg. His bait boat, he come right across me. He's like, what are you doing? He said, I'm not having it. Cheese wired me up.
I'll put it on your rest for a bit.
Mate. You had a 59 pounder though, so like, you know what I mean? Film done. No, fair dude. So you smashed B2. Good draw.
Yeah.
Capitalised on that little bay. Final, where? What sort of draw did we get? BCAC's big, mate. This is it's a big competition. Rob's giving you the sort of bit of backing and a bit of a nudge to go and do it. You've had a good couple of results, especially that semi. And then the finals where, mate?
Raisbury.
Ooh.
Raisbury. But there was a late draw. And that was the last year, it was Watercraft, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was Watercraft. And we'd done our homework a little bit, gone round, and I think we come second or third last out. The Greenies were last out, weren't they? And they were next to us. But we learned so much that weekend. And we were talking about that on the way out, weren't we?
Yeah.
We caught one, Ryan caught one, and it was the only fish we had at the match. But we went in really stealthily, quietly. It was like everyone from Raisbury said, yeah, you got to be quiet, you got to do this, do that.
Yeah.
And these were like the early days after they just put the fresh fish in. And then we watched Jack Stamp and Nick Longpree were on, I don't know what the swim's called, but it's like an out of bounds they were chucking to. And on the Saturday, they absolutely filled it in, pummeled the bait in. 20, 30 key, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we was like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, this is Raisbury, like we've been told. And we just watched. And then on the Sunday, take after take from. It was like, right, they obviously like a bit of bait here. So if we come back again, we know what we got to do now. How many other anglers have picked up on that and watched and seen what we've seen?
It's some consistency even to get through those qualifiers. Are you picking those qualifiers for the next year based on anything? Based on venue or just availability of when you guys can get down?
It is venue, isn't
it? It is now. But like, if we can't get on, it don't matter. Like, we just want to get on. So
yeah.
we can, just get in. But yeah, now it is, yeah. It is now to the venue.
The next year. Qualified semi. Where was your semi?
Where did we qualify from? For?
Forney-Weir.
Oh yeah, Forney-Weir. That was.
So he turned up late for this one.
He was late.
Yeah. Hold on, he's still not turned up for a final. We'll talk about that in a minute.
He's not.
Yeah, and he's still got the prize money.
That's dark, mate. That is.
Yeah, where's mine for that check, Ginge?
Got to collect Hassan. Do you know what I mean?
Not if you're not clocked in.
He's kept that quiet. I thought, do you know what? Now
he's
been giving me some shit here about not turning up.
Before about getting smashed.
Yeah, I've had enough of that.
I've even had a go at his granddaddy weren't well.
I've had to fish when he ain't there a few times. So it's just.
Right, we'll gloss over that. But you've gone
thinking about that.
You've gone to Forney. You've gone to Forney, and then on to where?
B1
from there, yeah. But Forney I turned up late, but there's a funny story and hasn't turned up. as I've walked in the swim, I've literally walked round. I don't know if for people that are listening, we was right round the other side by the barge, weren't we? Which is right round the other side. So I've walked round first, and I said, Wayne, what you picked here for? I've got to carry my gear all the way round here. But he's like, right. And then just as I was like, Just as I was finishing saying that, and I literally just walked in the peg, his rod's gone, I just went, whack. Yeah, I won't get on it. Literally, like that's how it went. So we've landed that one. I've gone back, sorted all my gear out. I've come back. At the time, I just moved house, hadn't I? That's why I'm saying this now. And my gear, that's why I was late, because my gear was all over the place, because I'd moved house a few days before, so I was sorting all my stuff out. When I was sorting out my gear, I found some solid bags that I'd made in, I don't know when. You know, you just have like a bucket of bags. And I found them when I was moving. I thought, I'll use them the weekends. I put them to the side.
Fresh bake.
Honestly, it was like he was calling it the tut bag. it was a joke. Like I don't know why I chucked it out, but I was just like, I'll just chuck this out. I'll just get my stuff together, like, and sort all my stuff out. I've literally, honestly, looped it on, injected it with a bit of Empol, and just slung it up an island. 10 minutes, 28 pounder. So we had a few more fish through the. No, they left, didn't they? Because when we was in there on the Friday morning, it was all coloured everywhere. Like, so there was a lot of fish there.
Yeah.
And then on a Saturday morning, it went gin clear. We didn't catch anything for a while. No one around us was catching. And then all of a sudden, Sunday morning, it turned back up again, and qualified in the last few hours again. But we come second. I think Birdie won. Obviously, he's a local venue. You know, he knows it. So we weren't going to win anyway. But we come second, and we was off to B1, and then.
The year of the worm.
Yeah, that was when the worm.
Year of the worm.
Yeah, it's when the worm was born. Well,
Was
I
it?
wasn't born, but
Give me a year here.
Reinvented.
What year are we at?
2016.
16. The
So I said
year
that
of the
before.
worm.
Seriously, we've been on it a long time.
How did that come to be? That we know it's been publicised now. We're going to talk about the finer points of it, maybe. But worm fishing, the use of worms on linear and other venues as such, devastating. Obviously, people have talked about the amino acids, but whatever it is, used correctly, before people knew about it, they were definitely an incredible edge. It's being used more now, maybe not correctly, and we'll talk about it. How did you come to know about or experiment with or find the magic in the worms?
Well, it was we'd had a chat, like, you know, next, I think there was on about banning maggots.
Yeah, they ban maggots. So what's the next best natural?
Like all the match boys, there was all like, what are we going to do? Banning maggots, but I don't know what to do.
What was the reason for banning maggots? Cost and levelling the playing field?
Ammonia in the lake, because a lot of the, like, you know, a lot of people go stupid with them, but you don't need to. You know, when you're not catching the fish, you don't need to put them in. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, well, the next best thing is a worm, isn't it? So I've gone there for a little practice with a worm. The worm. I think I took 10 key, and I sort, you know, put it all together, wanged it out there. I'd say Brian Jarrett was next to me.
Yeah.
Doing a tutorial on B1 in the tutorial pegs, and I was in the next one down. Spudding up, and the fish are going mental. Like, I've never seen this happen before. But I can't get a take.
Right.
And I'm pulling my hair out. I'm doing everything. I've got little black zigs on. I've got brown zigs on. I've got maggot zigs out there. Because you were still allowed to use maggots. I was practicing, so you could still use them at the time. I've got zig maggots out there. I'm doing everything. I'm trying everything. Like, it's not happening. I was like, what's going on here? I don't know. And then Brian's come down and he's gone, what's going on out there?
So what are they doing? Are they fizzing up on you?
They're just bashing like you've never seen.
On that spot where you put the worm?
Yeah, just going absolutely nuts, like 6, 7 at a time. Like, it's a joke. It's ridiculous.
That's mental.
I just can't. I'm getting like, but just not getting a take. And I'm like, what's going on? So I reeled all the rods in. I was like, right, reset. Sat there. I've got I pulled a runny out of my bag. This is runnies had just come around then and all. I'm just sat there and I'm like, what can I do here? I'm just like like years ago, I come up with a little maggot rig. Like it's out there now. Like everyone uses it. Like, but I just sat there and I just come up with it. So I'm just sat there. I'm looking at this. I'm not going to do this. I just started messing with my tackle box. And anyway, I just come up with this rig that we now everyone uses it. Don't they? Like, who know us that like everybody uses it.
Worm rig, maggot rig.
Yeah, but it's the way.
Worm rig.
Yeah, it's the way I put it together. When I knocked 3 up, a pink one, an orange one, and a yellow one. I changed my leads to a luminous yellow, luminous yellow, high-vis yellow, high-vis orange, high-vis pink. Launched them all out there. Literally, as I put the third one out, I went to turn round to sit back down on my chair. The first one's gone. My first 3 fish on the worms were 36, 38, and 42. That was my first. Remember when I messaged you on that, took a video on that? That was my first 3 fish on the worm. It's just like, oh my God, what's going on?
On that same spot with all that going on, you could not get a bite on maggot, you could not get a bite on a boilie, you could not get a bite on corn, anything.
Nothing at all. I'm zigs, all different depths, everything, just nothing. I'm eating fish on the way down, everything, all the scenarios that you get when there's all fish all over you. I just couldn't get take. So I just knocked up I knocked 3 of them up, all different colours, just launched them all out. Like I said, just as I was about to walk away, the first one was off. And it was 36, 38, 42. Wanged them all back out there again. Put a couple more, put another 10 spums out there. I think the next, anyway, I ended up having about 6, 7 30s. Like, phoned my pals to come down. 3 lads come down with a load more worms. There was like 4 of us in a line, absolutely ripping it to pieces. What I was doing is I was riddling the soil off at first.
Right.
Because like, I'm new to this. You know, I've used worms in the past for bream fishing, chub fishing on the river, bowl fishing.
Salmon.
Yeah. No. I would never do that, Hassan.
Yeah, you one of those? The old brilliant, yeah. I've got a few worms left over there.
But yeah, so I was riddling the worms off and just using neat worm and some other bits and bobs. And I was sort of running out of bait. I had no bait left, and the lads were coming down the next day, but with a load of bait, and I had no bait left. And I'd riddled it all off in a bush, just at the side of the bivvy out the way. So no one could see it. Like, I thought, I'm going to have to use that. So then I started whacking in the soil, just started booking it back into the mix. And it just went absolutely nuts, like crazy. Like, it was ridiculous. I was fishing 2 rods, 1 rod, and then like, all the lads that come down, I've got a picture somewhere, or one of them have, with like 4 of us, with like all with mid-30s. I know B1 a 10 a penny, but back then in 2016, you know, that was big fish for the lake, like.
Yeah.
And then over a space of a couple of, I think it's about 8 weeks, I just tortured it, absolutely tortured it, week in, week out, like, and then I stopped. Because someone seen what I was doing, didn't they? Do you remember?
I was going to say, surely on that complex, you're going to get seen, especially if you're clubbing them like that, ain't you?
Well, I try to keep my head down. I always sit in my bivvy facing the lake. I don't like to let people see me, so I try and keep down. I don't like attention because for this reason. Do you know what I mean? I don't want people to see what I'm up to. Like, anyway, I got had out by another angler. It turns out that later on down the line, he ended up becoming a Team England member. Now we're all good friends now, and it like talk to him. And then we fished and the match come round, the semi-final come round.
Yeah,
like everyone's all like.
So we was in the second semi-final, weren't we? The first one we actually went because the guys that had Ryan out on what he was doing, we wanted him.
Yeah. See, that much stuff's happened. I forget about all these.
You went to their
semi-final to say to them, to see whether they would copy what Ryan done, because I bumped into him at another venue when they were picking up a set of rods, and he said Ryan's using worms. I said no, he's not. He said yes, he is. I said, how do you know that? He said I see all the soil outside. And I've rung him, and I've probably the only time give you a bit of shit. I was like, you've been fucking had out. Yeah. He's like, no, he ain't. No. I said, mate, I'm here now. He's told Bondi as well. He's had you out. So that sets. He was in the first semi-final. We took a trip up there to go and see whether he was doing it, and just say to him, "Wait, keep this to yourself. There's a little edge here."
Yeah, but it was more to be like, when it get him on side.
Yeah,
we don't want him as an enemy. Get him on side. We don't want him as an enemy. You know what I mean? Like in competing against us, get him on side, and then we'll go from there.
Basically, you've had a nightmare. People have found out.
I dropped a bottle.
You're on damage limitation.
But we're trying to smooth it because he's found the edge. Keep it to yourselves.
Yeah.
And then this could go some.
Well,
so were they using them?
Yeah.
But he weren't using them. He weren't using them to the way you're supposed to use them.
Yeah.
And then he caught a handful. Like he weren't in contention or nothing. And then we said a couple of things to him. Like, obviously, he's a good angler. This chap's good angler. He knows exactly what he's doing, but he weren't doing it right at the time. I put him right, and he basically absolutely hammered it, didn't he? Like, he went like to £700-800, just gone. See you later.
£800. What in the world are you doing?
And then he phoned me after the competition. He was like, "Oh, thanks for showing us that." Like, And then when we went and done our semi, it was ridiculous.
Well, the first one we just done 1,000, didn't we?
Yeah.
£1,000 a carp. How much worm are you getting through in that competition to catch £1,000 a carp?
25 kilo.
Never taken any more than that.
25 kilo.
People think we take a lot and we like outbuy anyone else, but no, 25 k. That's all it is. Never taken any more.
Is that how you employ it?
£1,000 a carp.
Yeah, we doubled that the following year, just for jokes, didn't we?
2,000 something.
£2,000 of carp.
Well, we had caught 100 fish and we had £2,100, didn't we? We stopped at 100.
We caught the 100th carp. I winded off the top just for
shits
and giggles. Look, and as well, hang on, he casted backwards.
You have to rub it in.
No. How do people react to that though?
And we had a barbecue.
I'm fully aware you probably had about 10
Now, when I say we had a barbecue, Hassan, though, I mean, like, we literally reeled the rods in. Yeah. Reeled the rods in, had like a full-on barbecue and a chef come and everything. I think we had 29 people in our swim at one point, all having a beer and relaxing, chilling.
How do people take to that, mate? Because that cannot be. If you're there scratching around and someone's had £2,000 of carp and is sitting there with their rods out of the water having a barbecue, casting backwards, I don't know if I'd be too happy.
But I didn't cast backwards when everyone was around. I'm not that cheeky. It was a Sunday morning. It was like, yeah, right, have a look at this.
We've skipped a little bit there with that getting to the 2,000 bit.
That's the next year, isn't it?
Yeah.
So basically, you've smashed it on the worm. The worm's come into play. Somebody else has found out about it, but it's damage limitation, all right.
Yeah.
Into the final. Back on. Where are you in the final?
Raisbury
Back to
this time.
Raisbury.
Into a peg that's never done a fish.
Where were you?
In the British final, though. Bearing in mind, it's never done a.
Okay.
We was in the dugout, weren't we? When you first draw people that have been to Raisbury, I don't know where it is anyway. When they're all named, but it's just as you just drive in, and it's like it's like deep.
Yeah. There's not a lot to it.
No,
just
nothing.
deep.
Yeah, just deep. That was it. 20 foot.
So again, worm. What'd you do?
Yeah, worm.
But bearing in mind, there's no zigs. The rule in Raisbury, no zigs. So there's no zigs in the final. It was adjustable zigs, but you weren't allowed zigs. So it was like, spotted the bucket out, and we levered it in. Remember I said the previous year we learnt from Jack?
Yeah.
Ryan's give it to him. That's Ryan's job in the swim. I'm the technician. I do the rigs, sort the rods. Ryan knocks up the bait, and they do the spomming. Ryan's gone out there, put a bucket out. On night time, another bucket, wasn't it? Or half a bucket.
So you hadn't had anything between that first bucket and then the second bucket?
No, it was just top it up, and then at night we caught our first few fish, didn't we?
Yeah.
Saturday morning, it just started to tick over, didn't it? Slowly ticking over, but at this time, Kevin Bart, they had 2 40s, 2 upper 30s, and we were catching 20s. Going into the Saturday night, Ryan caught one of the known fish.
I can't remember.
You don't even care, do you, mate?
No,
I ain't even got a picture of it.
It's a Raisbury original, mid to upper 30, and which then jumped us up a bit, getting close to him now. Then we caught some more, and then we got within £8 of Kevin Bart on the Sunday morning. So our spot now, that we tend to find, once you get them revved up on it, the bite, it gets quicker and quicker, and then you can just
keep it
going, and it just get the run rate will become faster.
So you're within £8. It's Sunday morning.
Yeah.
You're in the final. How long? What time's all out?
12.
And our bite time's gone.
Has it?
Yeah, we don't.
You're in deep water, aren't you, as well?
But
don't get a bite at that time.
we didn't. Yeah, on the Saturday we never got a bite, but our bites had come more consistent, like now for the night. So then we had our stewards on us. We was made to wind all our rods in.
Why? Do they do that? Can they do that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Just
someone had said that we was using zigs. Bearing in mind we're fishing over weed that's 20 foot deep, and we've been in the game a long time. You know, you're not getting them back.
No.
Like on light lines, it's not happening. We was made to wind all our rods in.
What time's this on Sunday?
Mid-morning, early. Like, bearing in mind we've just had a good flurry of fish, and now we've had to bring these rods in, and they're checking, like, we're using lead core, lead clips with the leads drop off, and then the Ronnie rig. And we're like, what are you looking for? What are you trying to do? To see if that'll pull out of there and shoot up. I was like, you can see it's got corn on it. And they were like, well, we want to see if it's a zig rig.
Yeah, it's not a zig rig, mate.
And we was like,
drop it in the edge. That's sinking straight to the bottom.
I think, sorry to put in there, Wayne, I think what that was, when it is that we know how to tie an adjustable zig rig, but it's not adjustable. When we reel it in, it's the length of a hook length. But when you cast it out, it's however long you want the zig. Your lead all slides down. Like.
So someone had said to
there's a handful of us that know how to do that.
Yeah. That this is how they're doing it.
That, man. That's snidey ass.
Someone had said, look, this is how they're doing it. They're fishing 20 foot. There's no way they're catching that many fish.
On the deck, yeah.
Yeah. And that blew our chances.
Because we had to bring all rods in.
Yeah, they had to then...
Yeah, and then we got to reset again, and obviously it's disturbed. The bite time's gone anyway, but...
Just a bit of a sour taste in our mouth. You can see there's a picture we'll show you at the end of us standing on the podium in second place. We ended up second, end of the match, and we are pissed.
No, like you talking about it, like it's like I'm getting wound up.
Yeah.
Like,
I can feel myself.
I'm not a steward, mate.
No, but it's the emotion, because like you go through that much emotion when you're in these matches, especially when you're in contention. You know what I mean? It's the passion that we have.
We're that close to becoming British champions.
Yeah,
like one more fish, and they fucked us.
I don't know what you do with that, because that's completely out of your control.
Go back the next year and fuck them up properly.
Yeah, did it proper give you that proper ag?
Oh, we was pissed for weeks.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you holding that together too well. No,
hang on. I was calm.
Were you?
He was going mental. Yeah.
Where you gone?
I'm the Jack Russell of the group. If there's something that's got to be said to someone, I'm the one who's saying it. I'll just stand with a big man stood behind me. You want to shout back at me?
Yeah.
Look at me, mate. Yeah.
Jeez.
But no, I lost my shit.
Yeah.
I got myself in trouble for it.
But I mean, I don't know, mate. Like, that is, at that time, in the context of that match, that is a massive critical window, isn't it? That is everything there. Forget the rest of what's gone on before it almost and what you've caught. The match is there, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what, it's there, look.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it. And that year, it was a mixture of emotions for me. Like I did lose my shit, and I put my hands up, and I've apologised for it now.
What did you do? Just shout at people?
Yeah, and yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
Let's leave it there, okay?
Nice.
But my mum was ill that year.
Right.
There was a big charity event for the life-saving treatment. The rest of it. I didn't know what was happening. And she was there, and I didn't know how long she was going to be around for.
Oh, bless you.
And so when something was that close to me, that meant so much, and to her...
Yeah, mate.
I lost my shit. But, do you know what, next year? That's history now, isn't it?
But I think, like, you could see it just with everything that goes on, but what you guys do, and I've said it to a lot of the lads that sort of I've met, maybe on an individual level, because I've never competed in a match. I wouldn't like to, mate, because I get destroyed. But you can see how much it means to you, the intensity that you guys do it at, especially when you're at the top and there. And to have something like that with everything that's going on, ripped away from you rightly, because you probably would have caught a few more if you're catching them. It could have been a very different story when you've been so close. It is pretty tough to swallow, I'd imagine. I'd struggle if it was like, I'm thinking about tennis. If somebody robbed me playing some tennis or something, mate, I'd be absolutely livid. Do you know what I mean? I'd get some code violations and some fines. No two ways about it. But when it's like that and it is down to that point and you've got stuff that's happened in life and external factors, then yeah, mate, I can understand. But you've held your hands up to it and it is what it is. The next year,
back to we got a bye straight to the semi-final, didn't we?
Yeah. Not that we was, you know, they've stopped that now. Like,
yeah.
You used to get, if you podiumed, you'd get straight into the semis, which personally I don't think should happen. You know, everyone should get back on an equal playing field. You win the FA Cup, you don't go straight into the quarterfinals, do you?
No.
So
no, true. So your semi was where?
B1.
But
bearing in mind now, the worm thing had got out.
Had it got? I was going to just say,
because we'd been bucket checked, people were seeing the rigs.
Well, they just check your rigs as stewards, didn't they? As well.
So then rumours are spread, and it was out there. Okay, so everyone was now armed with worms. We knew that was going to happen. So what do we do?
What'd you go to?
We knew everyone was going to be using worms. I said to him, look, everyone's going to be using them. We know not everybody can use them like we do. Not everyone knows about the rig and how to fish zigs and what time. There's a time process, isn't there?
Yeah.
When we swap, we know, right, the light's here now. We need to go down on the deck. We stopped fishing zigs. But everyone was like 2 years, 18 months behind us. But we needed to give ourselves just a little bit of comfort. So we had to come up with something. And it was like just one of them chats between us. We chat most days.
yeah, I remember now, yeah.
And it was like, what about corn? But amount of corn. What about different colour corns? I remember as kids buying a little pack of like strawberry sweet corn or tutti sweet corn and Pescaviva. And I said, okay, I'll have a word with Mainline. I'll have a word with Steve and see what he can do for us. Rung Steve, and he said, it's a lot of ag for them to sort it out, but I'll send you all the buckets, the sweeteners, the flavours, and the colouring. You do it yourself. And me and him are like, fuck that, we're busy men. I can't be tossed with that. I've got enough shit going on. Like,
too busy.
Yeah, too busy. Ryan got on the phone, rings me up, says, transfer me 1,000 ginger. I said, yeah? He said, yeah, I've sorted the bait, but I need $1,000. It's come to £2,000.
Okay. Somebody else to do your corn?
Yeah, no. Next week, he sends me a video. Arctic lorry turning up on his drive. We've got a pallet of, is it 1,000 tins on the pallet?
I can't remember. I don't know. There's a lot.
We've got the pictures anyway. So we got a pallet of strawberry and a pallet of tutti from Italy, imported over the Pescaviva.
Like this now as well. Like no one's thought of this. Like, you know, if you know now, you're going to tackle shops.
Yeah, it's there, mate.
Loads of it.
Yeah,
that's
I wonder
down
why.
to us. Like we've done that. Everyone copies us. Like to see our mix.
So Pescaviva's success is your BCAC story, mate.
Because it went quiet. Pescaviva definitely went quiet because we couldn't source it in the UK for that amount what we wanted.
I got that from Italy.
Yeah.
I found the factory in Italy. Look, no, got it all.
Send over
shipped over.
Went through somebody else.
2,000 tins.
Pete, his name was. He was.
Pescaviva Pete.
Yeah. But yeah, well, I've got videos of me and the missus carrying it down the drive.
Just a lot of corn, mate, innit?
Yeah, mate. Well, it worked, but the main reason why we got this was for that it weren't just for that semi-final. We was like, right, because by this time as well, we'd been called up for England now as well.
So is this the year?
No, it was the year before that, actually.
Before.
Yeah, when you
didn't quite win.
We got called up. And we'd been given tickets for Raspberry, Rafford Gill's tickets for a gold ticket, basically.
Because of England, yeah.
England. It was our home. So, yeah, we took advantage of that. And I was like, right, we want to win this, like, you know? So what we're going to do is we're going to bait up. And it's not feasible to bait up with boys. Yeah, we're both consultants for Mainline, and we could get as much bait as we wanted for free, but that's not playing into our hands because everyone else can use bait, boilies.
Yeah.
We want something that's not, you know, that everybody uses in their mix, but not everybody uses on the hook. So yeah, the corn, and then we was literally going down there, weren't we? If Wayne could,
it was by fate. I actually had a job 300 yards away from Raisbury Gate. So I was saying to the boys, I didn't even tell Aaron, who's a keen angler that works for me. They weren't even telling him because he had friends that fish in the match scene as well. At the time, I was like, I'm going home early, or I'm sleeping. I'm the boss anyway. I do what I want. But yeah, I'm going off to do another job. I went going down Raisbury, and I had these 10-kilo buckets. And at first, I started putting it in all the snags, just making sure no one was around, just feeding the snags, and off of that barge as well. Where we said earlier, I've done that left-handed cast.
Yeah,
like just the fish held there because no lines could ever get there.
Yeah,
I was just feeding them, just literally feeding them for weeks on end, pouring this corn in. Sometimes just, it's hot today, I can't be tossed with feeding it out. I'm just going to pour it over. Just giving them a massive spread. So they got comfortable feeding on it. And when they got to see it out in the lake, they would have been comfortable with it. And there's no hooking it, 2 weeks prior to the match, Ryan's down there practicing. I've gone down and met him. And then whilst he's fishing, I've gone around the other side, started finding little spots, making notes of them, and started just spotting it out. Ryan's down there with just pure corn.
Yeah.
And he's tearing it a new one. So we knew, combined with the worms, you was allowed maggot and caster then, weren't you?
Yeah.
And this corn, we had a fucking edge over everybody else.
Yeah.
Because they had now seen
loads and loads of corn.
Nearly 100 key of corn.
Yeah.
Different colours that they've never seen
before. What colours you go for? The strawberry red?
And tooty.
Yeah, strawberry
and orange
tooty.
Stuff.
It's like we couldn't get anything that was pink, basically. Like we like to use pink, orange, and yellow, don't we? And we've started using red and occasionally black. But yeah, that was why we went with. We was putting in normal sweet corn as well. We weren't just putting in orange and red. We was putting in the yellow as well. But like we put in a serious amount. Well, you'll see the pictures. You'll overlap them on this, and look, yeah, you. And we ain't really spoke about it, have we? To no one really. And that was why we ended up buying the corn. It wasn't specifically for B1 in that match. It helped, but yeah, it was mainly for Raspberry.
But you used it in conjunction with worms as well, or did you just use neat corn on Raspberry?
No, we used it in conjunction with worms. But Ryan went and practiced just corn.
Was caning it.
Oh, mate, ridiculous! Like honestly, I had three rods rip off at exactly the same time. I don't know how many times. I sent him loads of videos. Like, I was like, what do I do? All three are going. Yeah. And that was in Rocky Barge, that was. But yeah, we baited up all over the lake, basically. Spummed it out all over. I was driving from Birmingham just to bait up.
Mate, that's some effort, innit?
Like twice a week.
Had you already qualified at this point for the final, or just before you qualified?
No,
you'd already qualified.
We'd qualified now. Yeah.
And that qualifier, was that the £2,000?
2,100. Yeah, we got. Well, it was 100 fish, and then we just stopped, which was just over 2,000.
We set a target to get 100 fish.
Yeah,
and we'd done it by 8 o'clock Sunday morning. The last one was off the top backwards.
And then you just chilled out. Yeah. Job done. What was the nearest second place?
In our section, about £800, 700.
Oh my days, which is a lot of fish, to be fair.
Bart and Kev was the closest to us, wasn't they?
Yeah. Because Ryan said, let's take Bart and Kev on. We got done by them last year. Let's take them on. Let's knock them out now. We weren't prepared, were we?
No, we didn't have one rig.
You know what?
We don't tie rigs like that, do we?
No, for that match, it was, I don't know what had gone on. Something had gone on again. Ryan was, we was a little bit unprepared for that semi-final. And then he kept saying, look, we've got to take them. We need to knock them out now. Let's take them out now. And then that final's ours. I was like, look, we're not prepared. We know how Kev and Bart prepare for a match. I was like, fuck this. You've not even spooled up. I've not tied no rigs, and that's my job. And you ain't even got a rod spool. And you're like, mate, we're fishing against two of the best anglers this country's ever seen. We cannot do that unprepared. And he's like, oh, whatever, go on in. Like, we won't go against them. But we fished opposite them.
Yeah, and we was like, not shouting. But like we was talking loud across the lake to each other, like at 2-3 in the morning. Giving them some abuse. They was abusing us.
Just touching back earlier, like we said about the 2-rod thing.
Yeah,
we had when the rods were going. I just, like I say, Ryan's spomming. I'm on rod duty, tying the rigs, sorting them out. When I went down to 2 rods because when there was 3 rods out there or 4 rods, you're getting 4 rod takes, and it was just stupid. We was losing them. The lines were getting crossing over. It was just carnage. It's like, right, sack these off. Fish 2 rods. When I got a bite, I would cast the other rod out, another rod out, just whack the bobbin on it, lock it up, pick that rod up, play that fish. So there was always 2 rods in the water.
Gee, so you're casting out while that fish is just taking line somewhere?
No, they ain't taking line. It's locked up.
It's locked up. So that fish is on, and you're getting another one on the spot, and then dealing with the fish.
Yeah.
Oh my word!
That's another thing. Like, you know, the way you set up. Oh, that's massive.
What, in terms of being locked up?
Yeah,
locked up. Yeah, we've only had one bang.
You have, you man, not we.
So we're going to get to that now. Like, wow. I'm sweating now thinking about it.
You're going in after the fish.
Yeah. So we've gone to Raisbury now. Yeah. I'm shit at draws. I'm shit at draws. So Ryan, I don't ever turn up to a match.
Yeah, you don't turn up no more.
I'm not allowed. I'm banned.
It's fair.
Ryan rings me. This time he's down in the dumps. We've drawn the bus stop. Right at the top of the pond. Yeah. Tiny little place. And we watched the chickens the year before in there, didn't we?
Yeah.
We named these lads the chickens because they were like bivvies right back, tiptoeing in the swim, giving it the old raise. We got
tiptoeing down to the rods, like, tiptoeing out the way.
Real keeping it real quiet and stealthy.
My style of angling here, mate.
And that's not us, and especially this clumsy cunt.
Oh, calamity I am.
Anyway, so we got the bus stop, turned up in the car park. He's disappointed. I'm like, no, that's all right. He's like, he wanted a bit of open water.
Yeah.
Where we put this bait. And I was like, look, relax. That's a good area. We got in that peg, and everyone must have thought, what the fuck are these two up to?
Yeah.
We put SCM bags out, rakes, ropes, and we have just raked the hell out of it for
You're
4
allowed
hours.
to rake it, yeah, I'm guessing. Yeah. Nothing in the rules.
Nothing in the rules. So we
raked mound of weed, necking house spin.
And then cleaned the weed. If we're going to fish open water, cleaned the spot, and then I had a grappling lead, wasn't it, on that spot. Yeah. So Ryan's done his closing up against the rope. He's pulled it all in there. I've raked a little spot further out. Then we filled it in, bucket of bait. So bearing in mind these guys before all tiptoeing about, we've absolutely ripped it a new one. That night, there's fish now down to my left on this barge where I'd been like baiting. I've got a rod. That was the first bite, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, the old left-hand cast.
Yeah, old left-hand cast straight under the barge. Done the first bite, only a little one. And then through the night, Ryan had one off of the ropes, didn't you?
Yeah.
Saturday morning, we had another one from Ryan's spot off the ropes. And now we're in the mix. We're about 4th, I think. And it was a bit of a low on Saturday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Lee Sims and Sean Dawson, they had like 5 fish, like good 30s, didn't they? Or mid-30s, and it put them right up.
Yeah.
And we went into the final night. And then we've had one on my... Oh, it was one because I remember the one on the snag that was the banker was snagged, wasn't it?
That was Saturday night, that was, wasn't it, when you had one go ping?
Yeah. So the banker spot hadn't gone, but there was this one I'm fishing just off the island. Had a fish from it, put it back out, and usually 90% of my fishing, I'm leaving it in the clip. I'm not wrapping up, but we're using braid.
Yeah.
And I'm taking it out of the clip at Raisbury. Yeah. It just, because I'm so used to leaving it in the clip, I've left it in the clip. The rod's gone again. Ryan's picked it up. Oh, was it you?
Oh, I didn't pick it up. I wouldn't do
that. And it's like, it's hit the clip, it's just gone bang.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh no. And I remember just sitting on my bed, like heart in my mouth.
Savage, yeah.
That felt all right. And I just had to get the rod back out there. Compose myself, get it back, and I put the rod back out, and I've sat back on the bed thinking, I fucked it here. I've missed that massive opportunity for us. Thankfully, he's put some more spoms over the top of it and was like, you're a prick or whatever, but don't worry about it. Like, we'll get another one. Like, trying to be encourage it, do you know? And then it's gone. And then you did play that. You played the next one. Because it ran you a merry dance. I remember it. You played the next one. You was there.
I can't remember. I know on the Saturday afternoon, because that happened with Sean Dawson, and he'd caught a few, and we was like, "Well, we need to do something." So I found another spot on your side, remember?
Yeah.
And it was only tiny. And that spot done us 4 bites, didn't it, that night? Because we had them all sacked up.
No, that done us 2. I done 3. I done 2 from straight out, just off the island, that little spot off the island. I remember I had 2 off of that and lost 1. And that spot to the right that you found, done 2. And then Ryan lost 1 at the end.
Was it only 2?
Yeah, 100%. And then you had the others from the snag.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. But yeah, because that spot kicked in after that happened, didn't it? Because it was like in the middle of the night, like, and I was like, I must admit, I did go back to my bivvy house.
Ginger.
No, because I call you that. Like. I just had my hand in my head. I remember, like sitting there, like, and like when in matches like that, like semi-finals, finals, I don't sleep. I can't, like, I just like one eye open, and I was just sat there, put the kettle on, and I was just like, oh.
I knew he was pissed with me.
Yeah, just we went silent.
You don't have to
swim
say
for
anything. You just
half
know.
hour.
I just knew. But then, like, literally after that, we had a run of fish. Like, we woke up in the morning, and Chris Bones was presenting BT Sport.
Yeah.
He said, "Boys, have you had anything? It's been quite quiet." I said, "Yeah, we got 4." He said, "You're joking?" I said, "No, we got 4." And that was it. They flew around, didn't they? And each fish took us up the leaderboard. And then we didn't know, obviously, what had gone on throughout the night.
Of course.
We're now winning. But our bite time sort of like dried up.
Yeah.
And Lee Sims and Sean Dawson, I think with half an hour to go, had a 29 minute?
Yeah.
29, which put them 25 pound behind us. Bearing in mind their smallest fish was like 29 pound.
And the rules, they've got half an hour, but if they get a bite, they've got some time to play it afterwards, haven't they?
Yeah.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
They've got 10 minutes. So realistically, that whole half an hour, you can't relax and say you've won it. You've won it unless you get a bite or something else.
Oh, we won't relax. We sat on the front of that peg, didn't we? Both of us.
Just staring at them.
Yeah.
Just willing them to go off. Like, I mean, willing them.
But
And,
like, there was that many people around the swim, like it weren't because the bus stop is kind of intricate. Really, we knew like we weren't going to. Our bite time had gone, and we knew we weren't going to get another.
we were just like
holding on
a prayer.
Yeah,
it was like I've never prayed so much.
Sat on the front
just sat in the front of it with my head in my hands. Obviously, what had gone on the night before losing that fish, I was I was absolutely sick. Yeah, and there's no way I could look him in the eye if we'd done second again.
See, I've always said this to you, don't I, mate? Like, if Wayne loses a fish, it don't matter. Like, I can forgive him, but if I lose it, like him, like he can't forgive himself for losing that fish, but he can forgive me. You know what I mean? That's why I just let.
That's what I tell you.
He's got the lot somewhere.
But that's you know that's because we're passionate, like, and we know we've made a mistake.
But also the stakes are high. Not only the stakes.
This is a stake that's going to cost us the British title.
Exactly. The stakes are the highest they possibly could be. You're fishing raspberry, savage weed, bars, snags, the lot. I fish it. It's absolutely, you don't rest anyway, let alone in a match where you've got a chance to do what you wanted to do, which is win the British Championships after being robbed the year before. Don't get much more on a knife edge than that. Do you know what I mean? And then you're just sitting there. Realistically, there's not a lot you can do. You just got to hope that they don't catch.
Yeah. And then it was like the marshals were all with us. There's a big crowd now gathered around it. My parents had turned up.
Oh.
And then they radioed through. And I can still hear it now, can you?
Yeah.
Them saying confirmation there's no fish on in Peg 2. And there's like no fish on. And then you just see it's like a video clip of me like exploding.
What's that feeling like, boys?
Oh, just him just saying that then, Lord, the hairs just stood up on the back of my neck, like that. It's hard to explain, like, you know, because we've worked. So I think the only better feeling really for me was when my daughter was born, Lord. That's it, Lord.
Nothing, yeah.
That must be mad,
No,
especially
look,
after everything that's gone on, the journey you've been through with that. Because, I mean, you've been consistent, you've got to finals, but I didn't quite realise the sort of turn of events leading up to that first win. Do you know what I mean? There's been a fair bit gone on there, hasn't there?
Oh, mate, yeah.
For me, there was 9 finals. Like, I've been in a lot of finals, like in previous years with previous partners, and I'd been close a couple of times, but never got over the edge, you know.
Mate, that does put the hairs on the back of my neck up, to be fair.
All squirrels get a nut in the end.
What's the celebration like, mate?
Yeah, just
Was it like Ascot?
Oh, just nothing like I've never celebrated before. We'll send you some pictures of like you can see it, you know, and there was tears, there was emotions. I'm getting welled up now talking about it because
it's massive.
Yeah, you can't help it.
It meant so much.
Yeah.
Mate, that is mega. What the feeling of that sort of, I liken it to like, you know, you catch a big carp or you get that sort of buzz from a session where it really goes well. How does that compare to something like that? Is the buzz bigger? Does it last longer? There's so much pride in the fact that you've won that across that competition, that field. You are the best in the country, ain't you? How does that compare to that different level?
It's a totally different level. That was 20 years. I think people don't realise I've been doing it almost for 20 years, the BCAC, chasing that dream, chasing that title. And then for people throughout that year to the next mate, all right, champ, how you doing?
Yeah.
Calling you, and then you relive that moment every time someone, all right, champ, how you doing? I used to like relive them last few seconds after the match when they say that word. It's like, yeah, I'm British champion.
It's when you're on your own.
Yeah.
That's when it really kicks in. I think so anyway. When you're sat on your own, especially if you're fishing as well and you're on your own, you just have like a moment. Like, it's like, oh, what? I'm a champ.
I probably watched the YouTube video about 100 times.
I'm going to say, get on the old BT Sport boys.
Yeah, I've watched it. And my wife used to say to me, you should watch that again, you sad twat.
I can't. The first one I can't watch.
Why?
Because I get emotional and that. Like the second one I enjoy to watch because like it's like we are hurting it. But the first one was hard
That
work.
sounds quality, the first one, mate. The first one's always that's always the highest high, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. The following year, like I remember Rob interviewing us and saying, like, how do you feel about this? How would you feel if you won it at Farlow's, which Farlow's is my home turf? And I said it'd probably mean more. It didn't.
No.
I can't. That first feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never felt like that.
Even the worlds, like,
yeah.
You know, world champion, we become world champions. It's nothing like that first time that you win that.
Nah, it's got to be. It's always the first time, isn't it? Yeah. That is especially also with everything. 20 years is a ridiculous stint, isn't it? But to come that close and then to do it, and also with your guys' relationship over that time being strengthened, losing a fish, the stuff with your mum, everyone being there. All right, Bonesy and BT Sports ruined it, but never know. But you know what I mean? Good lad, his Bones. But you know what I mean? That is a big accumulation of lots of different things all leading to something mega. I can only imagine, like, yeah, I wouldn't process that, I don't think. And I'm just thinking about it, not actually having done it. It would take a long time for that to sink in. Definitely. What a mega year. What a mega day.
Mate, you couldn't make it up, could you?
When you entered it the first time, together as a pair, this is after all the Eric stuff. Did you think you would win it ultimately?
Truthfully.
Yeah.
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 Always knew, like.
I love that. Confident, calculated, cool, mate, isn't you?
Look, that comes like over time, like, you know what I mean? You don't just. I'm confident all the time anyway, you know, no matter what, like. But yeah, that comes over time.
For me, fishing with Ryan was the missing piece of my jigsaw.
Yeah, and me with Wayne, like, it's like I feel as though I'm good at everything, and I'm excellent at some of the things.
If he has chocolate, he'd eat himself, wouldn't he? This one.
No, hang on, I ain't finished what I'm saying.
This is a Tinder profile, isn't it? Yeah. I'm brilliant at everything.
No, like what I do, I'm good at it. Like, you know, I know that, and like, some of the things that I do, I'm really, really good. Some of the things that Wayne does, he's good, but then other things he does, he's really good. So whatever Wayne's not really good at,
each other,
I'm really good at, and stuff that I'm not really good at, he is. That's why we're so good. Because what he can't, it's not that we can't do it, it's that he's better, or I'm better. Yeah. So we just let him do that, and then I'll do this.
Love it.
You fish to your strengths, don't you? That's how you get the best out of everything.
That's mega, boys. You've referenced a fair few times with regards to stuff. Worms, using them properly in the right way. Rigs, all around worm fishing. Now you can tell me to go away, get lost. I will do because you're scary. But in terms of using worms correctly, in terms of you getting the most out of them, and in terms of rigs, talk to me as cryptically or clear as you can about what that exactly looks like. Because for all intents and purposes, you said originally you were riddling them off, you weren't using the soil. You said you then started to use the soil. How much are you using? What mix are you using? What rigs are you presenting over the top of them? Because that clearly has been an edge, using them and using them properly, and the difference between the two.
We're match anglers, so we're not going to... That's our edge. So why, no disrespect, why are we going to educate other people?
Is it still an edge now then?
The way we fish, yeah.
And you've seen others fish it?
Yeah, there's plenty of other guys out there using them.
Yeah.
And we've seen loads of videos now of like known anglers on their big companies going out using them. They're doing nothing like what we do. They're having good hits, but what we do would have twice as many as what they would. And I'm pretty confident to say that. I back myself in saying that. They're so far from what we're doing.
Same swim, same spot. Those guys using it.
Yeah.
We're obviously catching.
Yeah.
You guys using it. You're catching double.
Yeah. Well, look at Bart and Kev, for instance. Two great anglers. Everybody else on B1, when we've just done 2,000 odd pound, are using worms. And we've blown them all out the park. And that's not being big-headed. We've just got an edge, and our edge is the knowledge and the way we put it together. Now, if I was to sit here and tell you, everyone else is going to know that. And everyone else is going to be doing it. But because we're competition anglers and we want to win, we've come up with something. I don't want to share that.
We did. We did have a bouncer basically in our.
You had a bouncer.
Yeah. In the matches, we'd bring a bouncer with us to keep everyone out of the way.
Do you get that? Do you get people come in and like how accessible is that in the old BCAC? Could somebody come into your swim and check, like look at you?
They can't actually come into the swim like where our bivisides us. They can sit behind us, but we can't stop them, so they can see exactly what we're up to.
Right.
Well, yeah, we had the bouncer with us in all of our matches. Even not so much now. We haven't done a match for a while, have we? But yeah, we have a bouncer with us to keep everyone at bay, basically, because everyone wants to come close and see what we're up to and how we do it. We've had marshals look in our bucket, see what we do. If there's a marshal there, obviously we don't stop. Do you know what I mean? They can see what we're up to.
But you're saying it's not from that looking. They ain't going to gleam all the finer points that give you the edge. They might see the mix, but they're not seeing the integral parts of it, the rig mechanics, whatever else is going on.
Yeah. Timing of the debate as well.
Yeah, timing's massive. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of good anglers out there know how to rev a swim up and keep it going. But like, there's times, when
you said that there's a zig window as well. You talked about that time as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
The time at which there's a certain light level or something where you go, I tell you what, boys, forget the zigs on the deck.
Yeah. It's just knowing, because we've done it for such a long time. Even before we used to mess with worms, it's knowing when to change.
Does that window vary with venue, or is it pretty a set formula that you guys have got with that?
Yeah, no, it's I'd say venue, wouldn't you? It's a venue, stock of fish basically. I wouldn't say venue, it's a stock of fish. How the fish react is how we behave. It's just, we react on what we see.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people don't do that. Yeah, we have got a planning of action,
but you can adjust that.
Like we was on about earlier. We turned up at Walthamstow with like buckets and buckets and buckets of bait particles, because that's how you used to fish it back in the day. We didn't even touch that. It's like being prepared to do what the fish are telling you to do. And a lot of people don't do that. Even when people just go fishing in general. When
you're fishing naturals, you've got to understand it. It's not a case of just buying a bag of worms and thinking you can chop them up and just chuck them out. And I think that's why a lot of people got their knickers in a twist. Well, I'm buying bags of worms. I'm using worms. I'm not catching like Wayne and Ryan.
Yeah.
Well, I don't use a bucket of tigers and think I'm Terry Earn. Or I don't go and buy a bag of boilies and think I'm Daryl Peck. So what gives you the God-given right to think you can buy a bag of worms and think you can fish like me and him?
So, I'm not going to go to JD Sports, buy myself a pair of Nike football boots, rock up to Old Trafford and think I can get a game with Ronaldo. It don't work like that, does it?
No, you know exactly what you're saying. The key there for me, looking at it from an outsider's perspective, is the edge of worms, people seeing it, people knowing that people are using worms. It's outwardly out there, like you've referenced. There's videos, there's top anglers using them, showing the way they use them. The interesting nugget, and it's your nugget, I completely get that, and you've got to keep your edges because it's ultra competitive out there. People know the edge, but people don't know all those little nuggets that really sort of seem to maximise that edge that you guys have got down. And that, as you say, is the difference between 20 takes and 40 takes, 50 takes, 60 takes.
It is. You know yourself, Hassan, like, you know, the tiniest little change, just like bite after bite after bite. That's what it is.
How do you react to that? And I know it's become synonymous, especially in recent times. I've talked about it with Kev on a podcast. It's come to light in a slightly more darker sense with another podcast when there wasn't anybody there, with regards to sort of the rumour mill around you're catching, the fact that your people have used worm, not caught as many, and you're catching so prolifically, and allegations being wedged at you around hormones, the use of likes and such a stuff. And like, I don't like to speculate around anybody else who's not here, but you're directly here. You obviously know that that's been levelled at you. How do you react to that? Because I know from speaking to you extensively that, like, you are pretty chill, like you're ultra hardcore competitors, but in terms of stuff, you very much do your own thing, you've got your own goals, and that's your objective. But when you're hearing things like that, knowing fully well that you're using things, naturals, not other things that are banned or speculated upon, how does that make you feel? Does that not wind you up?
It does me, yeah. Sort of, you know, I was telling you earlier before the podcast, like, I don't do much of my own fishing anymore, and that's one of the reasons, because I'm just sick of it. Like, you know, but I'm not skilled. I'm using some illegal hormone. Behave, like, you know what I mean? It's laughable. It is, and that's like, my fishing has like it's took a back seat like in the last year since all this rubbish has come about. It's took a back seat because of these stupid rumours. Like, I'm not.
How bad's that got? Have you had people contact you? Have you had what you had?
Yeah, I've had people come up to me on lake. We've been banned from lakes that we ain't even been to because of it. And it's like, hang on.
That's mad.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, you know, anybody that knows about carp and is actually a real carp fisherman, you know, that has been at it, it's in your blood, you'll know that there is no super duper hormone out there. There is no super duper bait. Do you know what I mean? There isn't. It's down to the angler. And it's just like you're getting tarred with a brush that you shouldn't be getting tarred with.
What's the hardest part to take about that? The fact that it discredits the angling that you've done?
Yeah. We work hard at what we do. We're not like, or if there was a hormone that was super duper, then that's cheating. We don't cheat. We don't need to cheat. It's not. It's just not. You know. It does. Wayne's best to talk about it because
you just lose your head, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I can see like it's all got very intense around that subject matter, and I can see that somebody like yourself who does work hard, who also, mate, it must come at some expense as well in terms of out of your own pocket. We talked about the corn, we're talking about the worm concentration, we talk about the practice time, you talk about the travel, you talk about the fact that it's your time and you've got busy jobs. That whole process is a lot of your life, and you're doing it with a lot of passion, a lot of intensity, and then people level allegations at it. That would do me, and I'm quite a level-headed bloke. Do you know what I mean?
I don't normally let stuff bother me. Do you know what I mean? I just get on. Like, but this, it's done me a thing. Like, you know, you've been fishing loads of times, and normally I try and fish. We try and fish together as much as possible.
Yeah,
even just socially. Like, and I haven't been going. Like, I'm not.
You lost his mojo for it because of this.
I still got it. I went the other day, like, still got it. But yeah, it's done me nothing, like, you know. I've worked all my life to, you know, this is my hobby, this is what I do, this is me. You know, I've got fishing, it's in my blood, you know. I was doing it from very, very young. Like not just carp fishing, all aspects of fishing. And like, yeah, it's just, you know, even my missus says to me, like, why don't you go fishing anymore? Because like I don't talk about it. Like if you was to come in my house, I ain't got trophies up all over the place, pictures. That like fishing's like my thing that I do on my own. Like, don't
Keep
need.
it to yourself, yeah.
And like, yeah.
What about you, Wayne, with all that stuff, mate? Wait, you seem very like, I don't know. I remember speaking to you on the phone when we were planning this podcast, and you were like, look, yeah, I want to talk about it all because it is important. It's part of the story. It's part of what we've been through. For you, that whole, I don't know, that whole rumour mill allegation thing, when did that come to light? How did that affect things for you?
It started years ago, didn't it? Before this all come out, it started many, many years ago.
Right.
And we kind of know the background and the people behind it.
Right.
And we marked their card and said, look, you're chatting shit. We got a bouncer. All right, we raised suspicion by having a bouncer in the swim, not letting people in.
This is the worm stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, we're using worms, okay? We know how to use it. We don't want to share that with anybody because we're in the British Championships. We want to. Why should we educate other people that we're competing against? Now, if we was doing this for articles and we was getting paid tens of thousands a year by companies and we weren't fishing matches, then yeah, I'm more than happy to share that with the general public. But we're seasoned match anglers. That's what we do, and we want to become British champions again. So we're not going to tell people. So that they started rumours, and I was like, listen, boys, you need to squash that because it's a load of shit. Just be careful what you're saying. Left it at that, and it kind of like went away, and all of a sudden then it just exploded. And it's not nice. We're seeing it on social media. People are screenshotting stuff and sending it to us, and it hurt. Knowing they don't know the sacrifices that we made, and the stuff that we do behind the scenes because we don't talk about it because it's nobody else's business but ours. But it's a big load of bollocks. Like the Angling Times actually got in touch, boys.
Yeah.
Can we? Is there anything on you? I was like, no, we've never used anything with it. I'm going to give a little bit of the game away. If you put too much with worms, you're killing it. But I'm not going to go too much into that. Like I say, I want to keep my edge. But there is nothing in it. But the Angling Times got in touch, said, I said, no, not using anything. Do whatever you want. Run your story. Go and check it out. They went to America and they researched this extensively, didn't they?
Yeah.
And paid a lot of money to research this stuff that the accusations that we were using. And they laughed it off. People in America are like, how thick are the English public to think that this little bottle or this amount will actually do anything? It doesn't matter how much you put with your bait, it would never do anything. They laughed it off and actually said, how thick are these people? And then you got people in the UK, bait manufacturers, piping up saying stuff. And you just, like, mate, you're crazy. Are you that deluded? Are you that stupid? The only way that stuff, they said, could enhance, it doesn't enhance catching. All it does, you have to catch a female, inject the female, put her in the lake, and then it draws in the male carp. Well, I'll tell you what, do you want to fucking eat when you're after a shag? No. It's just it boggles me how stupid some people can be to believe it.
The other thing is with that, like what you're saying there, like, you know, we all know how carp behave. And like, you're injecting a female so the males come. So surely they're not going to feed anyway. Because they're interested in spawning. Like, you know.
Well, we've got a secret whistle that we blow to that female that she comes to when we find out what our peg we're in, give her a whistle, over here, cock yourself here, darling, and then all the males follow.
And then not only that, then if we was doing that, we'd be catching males, but we catch big uns and they're females.
Yeah.
So it's just
laughable.
But whenever you're good at anything, any sport, there's always haters on the sideline. And that's what this is.
Do you think that would be the same? Do you think you'd have the same level of scrutiny, level of sort of, I don't know, rumour and just general sort of people discrediting stuff if there wasn't any finance involved? If it was just match fishing down like your local, like a local lake, it weren't a national competition, there weren't a paycheck at the end of it, do you think you'd still get that?
Yes,
yeah.
100%. We know, like...
Would you?
Yeah. Sponsored anglers that go out and do it for a living have a something to say on it. Like, why are they getting their knickers in a twist? What we're doing. Relax.
Well, we're not. We don't want jobs in the industry. Like, we're not interested. But we've got our own business. Wayne's got his business. I've got mine. We do our own thing. We're not looking to.
No, it's not been your motivation.
No, not at all.
We try and take someone's job because we catch more in a weekend than what you bore out in a year.
A bit harsh, mate. I'm trying.
But that's how it irritates me.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be rude there to certain people, but if you want to go run in your mouth and spread malicious rumours, then
all it is like they can't. These people that are through these rumours around, they can't comprehend that they're doing this. They're all scratching their head. You know, we're doing exactly the same as you, but we're not catching the same. You know, you're doing something different. No, mate, we're just better than you. Yeah. That's it.
What's quantify that for me, right? Because obviously, top anglers, a lot of top anglers in that competition. You're doing things better. We've talked about this worm edge. We've talked about the application. We've talked about the rigs. And I'll come on to other rigs that sort of you use, because obviously there's got to be some form of speed element, efficiency element within that whole process to just be out in the water fishing if you're getting treble takes and then all that stuff kicking up. Other than that, what do you think that you do that is better than the other competition in a fishing sense that gives you those extra percentages? Because it is a combination of percentages here, there and everywhere, isn't it?
Oh,
mindset.
Yeah. Basically, mindset. Our mindset is, you know, win. Like, if you don't win, then you like we were saying earlier, you know, we go back, we analyse why we haven't won, and we pick at it and, you know, be like, why haven't though? This was why, and we'll fish another match and that won't happen again. It's experience. Like, we've got the mindset of, like, you know, the fish are there, we're going to catch them. That's it. We're not interested.
What about casting? What about those specifics? Anything like that? Is there anything that you think that you've got an edge on with regards to the basic fundamental stuff, as in your accuracy, your distance? Is there anything there?
I think it's just a multitude of things that you know, that you just build up over time. Like, and we're both. There's not like Wayne. I'm not better than Wayne. Wayne's not better than me. We're both equal, and like we're both good at almost everything. But like, we capitalise on, like I was saying earlier, something that I can't do, Wayne can. Something that Wayne can't, I can. Not can't, but I do it better, or Wayne does it better.
Yeah, so you've got it covered all to a really good level.
And that stands us out from a lot of people. That's just
to give us
experience.
It's the experience, knowing our mistakes, where others probably won't. They'll think, oh, it's just fishing shit.
Yeah.
Well, us, we're like, no, we fucked that up. Yeah. And we're like, put our hands up and own it. We're big enough. So we own our mistakes. We learn by them. And just reading the situation. Like Farlow's, the last final that we fished 2 rods there again. And we had, 4 or 5 acres of open water to our left? Yeah. And we left it. Where other people would have been fishing out there, and we left it. We could read what was going on. And then obviously we'll come to winning at Farlow's in a minute, but we read the situation there and fished 2 rods.
That's what stands us out, just experience.
Experience, making mistakes that we have. Like I said, we've been in it 20 years. I've been in 9 finals and I've made a lot of mistakes, but I'm big enough now to say, look, fucked up there. I know what I've got to do to put it right. And then
in matches as well, like I was saying earlier, we step back and be like, hang on, relax. So what's going on here? We just relax and just see what's going on here. Just wait a minute, hang on. We sit down, we'll have a cup of tea, don't we? And we'll discuss what's happening.
It's the situation, yeah.
Forget the rods for a minute. Yeah. And people don't do that. They don't, you know, sit down right. Because most of the time in matches, them two pair, the pair there, they're fishing against each other. They're not a team. They won't hit each other. So I've seen it loads of times when I've gone to see friends that are in the matches, and it's like, oh, your rod's going. And I mean, when we're fishing,
you've already hit that.
Yeah, it don't matter. Like, if it bleeps, it don't matter whose rod it is. They're our rods.
What about when you're actually in that match? Obviously, you talked about paying attention to other pairs and having a look at what's going on, and generally getting a sort of a gauge as to what you could possibly do or next moves or whatever's going on. In that competition element, do you pay much attention or have much emphasis on who could potentially do you damage depending on the draw or whatever? Is that all factored in there as well?
Yeah, everything. Yeah, because especially if you're sectioned,
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to be going in against, like, you know, I mean, it doesn't bother me. I'll take anyone. So Wayne will take anybody on if we have to. But like, you can have an easy time if you like.
Yeah.
You can go up against people that are not so experienced, and it's just that's.
And before we go on to your other Farlows final and that competition and how parameters changed, money. Obviously, there's an awful lot of investment, and we've talked about this, from bait through to time, travel, the whole works that go in. There's a paycheck at the end of it. For you, that paycheck, realistically, is it a decent payout? And also, is that a motivating factor or initially to it all? I'm guessing completely not.
No, mate, the money don't really come into it. Like the money I win, I just give to my missus. So
you need to change that straight away, mate.
Literally, like, it doesn't. I'm not there for the money. If I was into money, I wouldn't. I was going to
say, you're not making. You can't be, after all that investment. You can't be like, it's not financially like.
No, it's not. It's not about that.
You ain't paying your bills off it, are you?
No, it's not. It's not about money for us. We do it because we love doing it. Like, we like to compete, and we just enjoy it. You know, like, more than anything, in any match that we fish, even in world championships, he'll tell you, if we're not smiling and laughing, then we're not fishing. You've got to enjoy yourself. If you're not, then it's not.
Well, you've referenced that with your own fishing and the subsequent stuff that's happened, haven't you? And not really having that buzz for it and sort of pulling away from it. So I completely see that. You've sort of demonstrated that. For you, mate, finance, if it was, I mean, I know that there is on the continent, there's a whole scene of people who can go around, do all the enduros, all the matches and make a fair bit of money, and it's a living. Obviously, it's not there with regards to that. Do you think it'd have the same credibility if it was at that higher purse? If there was a big injection into sort of match carp fishing, do you think that would benefit things, or do you think not? I'm looking at it from a sort of a sports perspective. A lot of people probably don't give carp fishing, match fishing, carp match fishing the credit it deserves in terms of dedication, in terms of working hard, mindset, all the stuff you've talked about, the level at which you're operating at, and subsequent other pairs. It probably doesn't get the credit that it does compared to other sports. Yet other sports certainly have a lot more sort of finance, capital, things like that thrown into them. Do you think it would benefit the whole carp fishing match scene if that was the case?
If there was another match out there with like a high value 50 grand, I wouldn't be going for that title. I'd be going for that money.
Yeah.
But the BCAC, take the money out of it. If it was just a competition just to become British number one, I would still enter that.
Yeah.
And I'd do it the same way with the same expense.
Fair dues.
But any other competition out there would purely be a financial gain. Like we've spoken about, there's a match that used to be in America going out there. That's big money. But going back to the hormone bullshit.
Yeah.
If we had an illegal hormone, we'd fucking clear up. I'd enter every fucking match all over the world and go and clear up.
Yeah, you'd be a multi-millionaire end of the year. Yeah. Fair dues.
Like, use your head, people.
Yeah.
Slap yourselves, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, fair. The second final, Farlows. So you've won it.
Well, I think we need to talk about
the rule change.
The rule change, yeah.
So talk to me about the rule change.
So, won the final. Raisbury gives you a bye again to the semi-final.
Okay.
This year, they banned worms because the marshals got run ragged the year before. Everyone's catching £1,000, £1,600.
What, because the marshals?
They got run absolute ragged.
Right.
Imagine, we've had 100 fish.
Bless them, yeah.
Other people have had 40 fish, 50 fish, 60 fish. They're out on their feet. It's a hot weekend. They got 4 or 5 marshals.
They look more knackered than we did.
Yeah.
It's a big old slab of real estate as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so you can understand why they've now banned them. So right, what do you do next?
So worms are off the table. Just worms
off the table, yeah. Maggots are off the table. Castles off the table.
When you go into a tackle shop,
bloodworm.
No, it's a worm.
It's a worm. Oh, yeah. Okay, so any worm.
So we was having an iron about something, and I went into a local tackle shop, and on the door it said large amounts of pinkies and squats available.
Oh, edges.
Rung Ryan, said, I was on the phone to my mate at the time, and I said, Brad, I've got to go. I've come up with something. I've got to ring Ryan. I phoned Ryan up. He said, I have thought about that, Ginger, but that's a bit
close.
A bit close to the mark. I said, leave it with me. I'm going to do some research on it. Got home, read through the rules. No worms, no bloodworm. No worms casts, no maggots, no casters. And I looked at the definition of a pinky and a squat and where they come from, what fly. They come from a totally different fly.
Do they?
Yeah. I can't think of the flies now, but I printed the information out. Actually spoke to a solicitor on it as well.
I was just going to say that.
You went to a solicitor?
Yeah, just
because if we went there and they said...
Oi, that's different level, isn't it?
So we're just not breaking the rules, we're going around them. Because it doesn't state that. They've got to clearly state something.
Yeah.
So that's the way we've done
So
it.
and we've squats and pinkies?
Squats and pinkies. So we turned up at the semi-final and done the draw. And I pulled the organiser over and said, just to let you know, this is what we're using. He said, you can't. I said, I can. I said, there's a letter from a solicitor and there's a definition if you don't understand what one is. So that's where it comes from. And that's not in your rules. And he was like, you slippery bastard. I tripped him right up. And he had to allow it.
It was laughing, actually.
He laughed.
But at this stage, if you've obviously you've had to tell him because he might come down and see whatever and you don't want that discrepancy when you're mid-flow, but has that not then leaked to the rest of the field?
No. Because then you don't want to get it out. Anyway, match has started. Well, maybe two fish have been out and the whole lake. We're on like £900.
Well,
and it is like he's come over to us and he said, boys, please stop what you're doing. You're causing such a shitstorm. No one else is catching a fish and you are just taking the absolute piss out of it. It's just like ridiculous. I was like, okay. We knew we're £900 in front. No one else is going to go up to the shop and get what we're getting now. And I said, we'll stop what we're doing, but on the gentleman's agreement that you don't ban it next year. And he was like, yeah, shook my hand on it. And that was it. Done.
So you just stopped fishing?
Yeah.
And did anybody else, nobody else picked those, they're not using them, but nobody else was picking up any fish at all? Pretty much one or two of the fish?
I think the guy next door blanked, didn't he? Had one fish, something like that. In our section, it was like, yeah.
That's savage.
Went down the shop, got a load of beers.
Watched the fight.
Watched the Fury fight.
Just chilled out.
Just like, yeah.
Well, are you using them as you would do normal maggot?
Yeah.
Smaller and lighter, you'd think that would be more aggy, no? No, just as effective.
Just refine,
Bit of him. Bit of the finer things, not so crude. Yeah? On the hook as well? As in on hook baits? How are you putting them on hook baits?
Medusa.
Oh, yeah. Just standard on like a bit of corn or something, on something buoyant?
Yeah, a tiny little match hook. Obviously, because they're so small. So scale the match hooks down.
Yeah, delicate, mate. Squats and pinkies, mate. I'm never going to look at a canal angler the same. Going to walk by the canal and go, oof.
It was hard to keep, though, wouldn't they?
Were they?
It was hard to keep.
Roasting up, wasn't it? It didn't matter a fuck because Saturday morning they told us that they didn't want us to use them, so it's like, right, sound.
Even when you boil like a pint or half a pint for sitting on your box, they're a nightmare to keep in, whether we're having now, yeah?
Yeah.
And like it was ridiculous.
All live bait is, mate. It's hard work, innit?
Pinkies and squats are the worst.
Are they?
Yeah.
Worse than like bloodworm?
Yeah.
Oh, mate. Yeah, that sounds
because they're so tiny, like.
Yeah. So, job done.
Job done, yeah.
£900, absolutely ridiculous, and then you stop fishing. I mean, I don't know what you say to that. That is just. What was the rest of the field reception like? Were you hearing any of that? The marshal's obviously saying it's kicking off. You're absolutely clubbing them. There's not a lot going on.
People did say there's squats and pinkies floating on the other side. Someone's using pinkies and squats.
Okay.
Like, not us.
Yeah.
No, but it's not,
we're not going to tell everyone, yeah, all right, yeah, that was us. Because as far as we was aware, we had an edge for the following year. Because we had the gentleman's agreement, you do not ban them.
How did you feel, though, that win? How did that... I know that there was the whole stuff you said there before about cameras being there and all that, but for you in your That's two very different experiences from the year before to that, isn't there? Like, you couldn't probably get more contrasting in those two finals, could you?
That wasn't a final, that was a semi.
Oh, was that the semi?
That's the semi, yeah.
Sorry, mate, that's my bad. So from that semi and the comprehensive win into the final, where's this final?
Follows.
Home turf?
Home turf, yeah.
How did that pan out? Have you kept the squats, pinkies? You've got that. You can still use them, can't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Still use them there. I remember I weren't allowed at the draw again.
Draw bag.
And the peg Ryan actually drew was in my top choices the night previous to the match.
So this isn't watercraft now, is it?
No, it's out the bag again.
Oh.
And the morning of the match, they've moved the peg from down the bottom of the lake to next door to where we ended up fishing. And it gave us half the water. And then when Ryan phoned me and told me, I was devastated. I remember ringing home and saying to Jess, like, the dream of being British champion is done. Like, we are never going to win it from here.
How tight was the swim then? Tight?
It had a lot of open water.
Right.
But for me, it was negative water. It wasn't a lot.
do you mean?
Could build a peg, like build it and do a big hit from it. It wasn't that kind of peg.
So it's like just a passing area?
Yeah, it was just pass through. You catch your couple there.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to catch fish, but because we had practiced the week prior to that, we knew what could be done in around certain swims.
Yeah.
And it was a blistering hot weekend that weekend. So we knew the boys down the bottom end, we were going to have them off the top, and there was going to be a lot down there. But as it unfolded, the fish were in the open water, and we ended up fishing 2 rods, fishing to an island. We had one little corner of the island, didn't we? And the first 2 fish I hooked, I lost. It was on a line, and we had to call for the boat, didn't we, twice.
What, on an old trailer or something?
Old trailing line hanging out the tree. And like, I'm pulling my hair out now. I'm losing my shit because they said, you're not allowed out in the boat no more. You've called the boat twice. You can't have another boat call. If you call the boat again, that fish doesn't count. And I'm losing my shit because they've gone out once to clear the lines. They've not obviously cleared them properly.
Oh, and you're still picking it up.
And it's still picking it up. It's gone again for the 3rd time that afternoon. I said to him, hit that. I just can't do it. I've had a fuck enough of this. Like, I've got the ump. He's got hold of it, and I honestly cringe now. I'm like, all I've heard is bang. It. Yeah, I've just heard fucking bang. I was like, turn around. He's like, sweet Ginge, get the net. He snapped the line out the tree. So he's done he's got the fish on, and now all this shit has come out the tree.
Let me show you how you fish on Birmingham Park Lake.
Yeah.
Stole type, mate.
Yeah, I'll rake my knots.
yeah.
And then, so it's opened the swim up now.
Yeah.
And as the fish kited, Ryan's fishing open water, it took touch the lines, didn't it? And it was just in the way, and was just like, do you know what? Fuck them off, because he had a couple of bream, didn't you? It was like their waste.
What, from the open water?
Yeah. Fuck them off. Let's just fish 2 in there, spom it up, and then soon, like I said, once Ryan had hit a rod, I'd then put another one back in there, so we had 2 out there. So we're playing 1 fish, so it's effectively 3.
Yeah.
But if we weren't playing a fish, it was just 2 out there, and that's what we done.
We was having them go in our hand, and that in the end.
Literally, all just off that same
big one hole in the bush.
And you no bream or anything on that. I suppose you don't.
Not out of the bush. No, the open water rod's done a couple of bream, and it was just at night. We didn't fish the island because I didn't want to put a line. Just had the same problem again with a snag line and all the rest of it. We didn't fish it, did we?
No.
As soon as we catch one at night, that was it. If it was too dark, we wouldn't put it back out there. I'd just drop it to a spot, literally 6 foot off the edge of the island, and that was it. Leave it there. And then as soon as it got first light and light enough to cast, bang, was in there. Bang, bang, spot it up. Because what we noticed, the fish was sitting in the open water where there was no lines.
Yeah,
they were happy to sit there, just like they were at B2.
Yeah, no,
they were comfortable there. And then as soon as we put some bait in there, have a little drift into the bush, have a munch, we'll clatter a load, and then move back out. And it was a pattern for the whole of the match.
So you basically just left. They had that say so, and then
they had
when
like
they went
4 acres of water, they could just sit in.
I'd say it was more than that.
Yeah,
it was a big chunk.
And that's why a lot of other anglers wouldn't have read that situation. Would have thought, wow, look at them fish there. Let's go and fish for them.
Yeah.
And it would have pushed them further around the back of the island or dispersed them. But we was happy. We knew they were happy being there. Just leave them there.
At the end of the match, there was loads of fish there, wasn't it? It was ridiculous because we ended up sticking bait on them as well to keep them there. And it was just ridiculous, man. There was that many fish there.
But I suppose that makes sense as well. Like if you were bream fishing, you wouldn't chuck it to that bush or whatever, would you? You'd stick it in open water and fish the maggot, and you'd catch loads of bream. But there, it's carp in it. So what did you finish up with? What was the final weight, and who was second?
755 pound.
What was second?
Bart and Kev, 360.
Yeah.
So when did you know that was won? Because that's like...
I'll be honest with you. On this Friday, about 6 o'clock, we're having it off, like. I think we've had about 8 or 9 fish by now. Struggling to keep rods in and that. I think Jins was playing one, I was playing one. I've gone, nudged him that. Done. He says, "What?" I said, "Done." We've won, that's it.
Yeah, he's a bit more
proper blasé.
Yeah, blasé. Yeah, we've done this. It's in the locker, Ginge. And I'm a bit like, "No, come on, heads down." He's like, "Shut up, we've got this, relax." And I'm like, "Nah, head down." He's like, "Yeah, all right." But yeah, he's a bit
What, Saturday you think you've won it, ain't you? You must know
well,
by midday Saturday.
Going in Friday night, I was nervous because obviously we didn't fish the island at night. Once we'd had a fish, and like, was we going to be able to light that peg up again like we did the previous? But within 10 minutes, it was like, okay.
And when you're on something like that, so when, obviously, for the period of time you've got, was it 36? It's more than that, isn't it? It's more than 48 hours. So it's 48 hours you've got. I know you're sort of, there's a little bit of trepidation around getting the spot going, but once you've got that spot going and you're getting bites, you don't seem ever concerned that it's just going to start drying up.
No way. It'll just get better and better.
Why is that?
I think it's to do with baiting. That's it. It's to do with the bait, the way we bait. You speed it up. It's like knowing when to bait.
Yeah.
It's not just a case of, like, wanging a load of bait in and then just capitalising on it. You got to put the bait, work your swim. That's what a lot of people don't do. Work the swim.
Or they can overcook the swim.
Yeah.
Overcooking it, putting too much in, taking longer to get a bite, and then when they do get that bite, they put a load more in, and there's already a shitload on the bottom. It's knowing
the balance.
Balance and reading the situation.
Because there's that age-old adage, isn't there, where like somebody will follow somebody in after a big old hit and they'll struggle, or you'll have a hit and fish it through. And even on high stock venues, there'll be a point at which that hit will start to tail off.
Someone went into us after going in that peg, and a rumour started there at Farlow's, saying that we were putting something in because it died a death after we was in there. So you must have been doing... No, we're using naturals. You're going in there with 18mm boilies, mate.
Yeah.
Like, giving naturals to a carp, it's like crack to a crackhead.
I don't think we can say that word.
I think it's been said. It'll probably stay in there. Yeah. But I know what you're saying. It's irresistible.
Yeah. So
it is, though, isn't it? It is. Yeah. Like the amount of takes that we've had, like when you're holding the rod, stupid.
Have you ever had it where you fished the naturals and you fished something, I don't know, like a boilie, a trimmed down waft, or whatever it may be on the hook, and not use naturals on the hook and had the same action?
I'm not stupid.
I wouldn't cast out like that.
But I've seen that so many times, and I think,
that's
mate,
exactly what I was going to say.
No disrespect, but you're a fucking sausage, because, like, look what you're putting in your mix. Like, you don't put out a load of 18mm boilies and then toss out a single grain of corn, do you? Like, come on, like, match the hatch. Everyone talks about match the hatch. So if you're using naturals, why wouldn't you match your hook bait with what you're putting in your mix? And that's what a lot of these guys that are making the accusations up are doing. That's the fundamental mistake.
Because it's aggy, isn't it? That's what I think, put it down to. It's effort, isn't it, really? Yeah. Because it's hard work sometimes putting... The
rig that we tie, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a fucking nose, especially if you get the cast wrong.
It's a fucking nose. If you're lucky, you'll get 3 out of it. You might get 2, innit? Mm-hmm. You might get 2. If you're really lucky, you'll get 3.
100 fish. That's long.
Yeah, especially if you miss your spot, or you're a couple of inches out, or you're just dropping short, or you've hit it too hard and you've got to redo it. Yeah, it's hard work. And that's what a lot of these other anglers aren't doing. They're not prepared to put in the hard work. They want it easy. And it's not easy using naturals.
Going back to that win, it's sort of won. It's a lot of a different feel to the first year where it's nip and tuck to the wire. How's the overall feeling at the end of that?
It's very subdued, wasn't it? It was like we knew Saturday night it was done.
Do you start to? I don't know. Do you start to celebrate Saturday night?
No. Because we had set ourselves the target. We wanted the record, so we didn't slow down. Like in the semi-finals, we put the handbrake up and parked ourselves up for a bit and chilled right out. But in the final, no, we're there to kill. We're there to finish the job. We want people to like. I'm never fishing against them again. I want to finish them, and we did that to the pair next to us. So we hold the record for the most weight in the final.
What was the final weight?
755.
755. That's a lot of carp, mate, isn't it?
I think it was 35 or 37. It's on YouTube.
What, any size in any of those?
Funnily enough, you got the pound then, didn't you?
Yeah.
He had a 30. Yeah. We only had 130. It's on my rod, like.
They're both your rods. Is this the pound / what is now the coin?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Now we've got a coin, but we did used to play for a pound, like
until he was in too much debt. You said
into so much debt, and
he's lying. He's lying.
But what you've got, long standing, and it's sitting pride of place. I'll take a little photo of it. But it's basically a coin branded, which is your sort of head to head, and at the moment it's in the hands of Mr. Need over there.
What does that tell you, Hassan?
Well, that means that on current form, he's got you because he's got the coin. Yeah. But every time you fish or in some competition, that coin is up for grabs, which seems to be more important than quite a lot else, really. Whoever's got that seems to have a lot of banter and pulling power with the other one.
It's all about the biggest fish. We don't go on numbers. It's always the biggest
big uns.
Because then it's whoever in it, you know what I mean?
Fair dues, you've got it.
Yeah. For everlasting.
When are you next?
He won't go out now,
I'm
will he?
retired then,
Yeah, he's retired.
Retired. Oh,
yeah, because he's got that. He's like, he said, I'm coming out, but I'm not playing for the coin next week.
Oh, these hormone rumours have really killed my fishing. Yeah, fair play. I like that. So that's that final done. And we mentioned before, with regards to sort of the international stuff coming in, Robbie had a chat with you. You sort of said, what can I do to get in there? The year prior to that, or maybe even the year before that, when you lost narrowly at the end and you've been checked, you made your way into the Team England setup, right? For you, in our sport, or the sport of match fishing in this country, the pinnacle, international stuff, being representing your country, it has to be, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No two ways about it. The feel of international match, FIPS rule, carp fishing against BCAC stuff, Eric's stuff, what's the difference? Is there any difference in your head, or it's still the same?
No. Well, I think you're carrying the weight of the nation on you. For me, you're carrying the weight of the nation as well. Not your own personal pride, but there's people back home now. Because when you fish the British, we're doing it for us.
Yeah.
But when you're representing your country, you're representing the people back home. So you're carrying the weight of the nation as well.
You feel that?
That's a tough one. I'm going out to give my all no matter what.
Right, for you?
Yeah, I'm a bit different to Wayne. Like, yeah, I do think like that, but I'm just calm. Like, it don't affect me. I'm there to do a job, and I'm going to get it done.
Too cool, mate. Because you hear it in other sports, and to be fair, there's a lot of media coverage when you boys go out when there's a world championship. There is an air of expectation, because we all know that carp fishing in this country is hard. A lot of those commercials are fished an awful lot. It's very different maybe to the venues you go out to, but there is always that air of expectation, like you tear up that place, you tear up that place, Kev, Bart, whoever else is in the team, Billy, Jamie, all those lot, Harry and that, they're brilliant anglers. We see them day to day smash everywhere up, and you think, put you out there, you'll get a result. But the reality is, it's very competitive. And other nations, excuse me, other nations, there's a lot on it for them too, isn't there?
Yeah. When we first went out, we actually went out to Spain when the team won gold when there was on the Ebro. Rob flew us out to basically to help as a runner to spot things, what was going on, because obviously, we're on the ball so we can pick up things quickly and relay them back. But it was more so to get us involved, wasn't it? So we could see what was going on. So and then we got the call up. It was always going to happen, but then he called us up and it was after he told us that it was going to be. It was just letting you see what it was going to be like. So when you did actually come into the team, you're not like took back by it all because of how big it is. Because it's massive and it's huge.
What were your observations of that then? Because that's quite key, isn't it? When you get there, when you're doing that job and you're sort of, you're going into the team, but you've got that period of time where you go and see it. What's going through your head when you're first there? Just like, for me, it was just like, well, Rob split us all up, put us all in different sections. We all had jobs of to stand behind them, see what if they was in contention, basically stand behind them and just pick up on what they're doing. Like in the World Championships, we have a 20-metre box, square box. Yeah, you're not allowed in. We had press T-shirts. So there's two tapes. We had press T-shirts and press badges, so we could step into the first tape. So we're a bit closer, so we can actually see what's going on. We took cameras and that as well, all our HD cameras, so we can zoom in and see exactly what rig they're using and stuff. Just stuff, knowledge that we need to know. We need to relay back so the boys can change if necessary. And yeah, that was what we was out there for, basically. Just. What was that like? In an insight into that? Because the venues are very different, aren't you, that you fish? They're not commercial, sort of, I don't know, how would you say?
Well, that was on the Ebro. So it was on the River Ebro, that's that. So it was I'd been to the Ebro before catfishing and stuff anyway, so it weren't no eye-opener for me. I knew what I was going for.
Yeah, it's a bit more of a known quantity, I suppose, isn't it?
But it was for me, it was like, look how many people are in this match. Like, and you drive 4 or 5 miles down the road, and there's another 30 people, and then it's crazy how big it was, crazy. And we got our heads round it, and then it was following year France. We didn't start then, did we? We were split up as well, and we were subs.
Right.
Wayne went in with Bart, I went in with Tom. It was towards the end of the match anyway. It was the last few hours, weren't it? Really.
We got a night each, didn't we?
Yeah.
A night each, split up in a different pair. How do you react to that? Because obviously, a lot of the pedigree of you getting into that team was based on the success you had together, and all the things that you've talked about here. Your sort of chemistry, the fact that you complement each other, the fact that he's left, you're right, exactly that. Your fishing together is sort of almost. I don't know, you're new. It's almost a bit of a comfort blanket with regards to that, isn't it? Being split must be a bit.
No, it is, but at the end of the day, Rob's a manager, and we have to respect his decision. If that's what he wants us to do, that's what we have to do.
Oh, he's back the gaffer. I love that.
No, but you have to. It's not that I'm Rob. It's I respect him.
Yeah.
And if he says that, that's what we have to do. And weren't at the time. I'm not going to lie, I weren't really happy with that, but that's his decision. So, you just go in there. The swim's already revved up anyway. So just let Tom take control. That's what I done. Just let Tom take control. I'm going into a warm nest, if you like. It weren't. It was. We was in a not a winning position anyway. So it weren't really too. It didn't really matter too much. But it was just an eye opener to get in and fish and just see it from in the peg. It was the first time we was in there, and then
what were the key sort of, I don't know, the biggest eye openers, Wayne, with regards to the fishing on there, mate? It looks so different when I see it, like the media clips that come back. Obviously, it's different because the venue changes, but it just looks a completely different level to anything that I'm used to seeing, sort of even English, the English match fishing scene.
It's totally different compared to what you fish in England. You're fishing 3 lines effectively, or baiting 3 lines, and you're fishing over the back of them. Like, could you imagine going to say linear B1, baiting at 30 yards, 50 yards, and 80 yards, and fishing 120?
What?
You'd be like, what's that prat up to? But that's how you fish.
Why? So you can drop back on all those if the fish turn up.
You start long, and then you come back onto your bait as you go throughout the match. So getting our heads around that for the first time was a
and
big head scratch.
as well with the 20 metre thing. Sorry to butt in, but the 20 metre square, that's out in the lake as well, that is. So you can't go right or left. You're in a 20 metre strip straight out.
There's crazy stuff about if your fish kites as well, they can cast across you, can't they?
Yeah.
And nick you, like...
Don't you think? Yeah.
Yeah.
Foul hook fish count, as long as it's trailers or...
Yeah.
Trailers count. It's ridiculous rules. It's stupid
trailers, foul hook fish, like you said, if fish comes into the swim, they're allowed to cast over you and try and hook it.
That's
I know. Can't drop leads.
Can't drop leads?
No.
You'd think it'd be the opposite. You can't drop leads at all. So if your leads come off and
It's
the
a
fish is
yellow
in the
card.
net,
Yellow
what
card.
happens? That fish
Yellow
don't
card.
count?
Fish don't count. It's yellow card.
Wow. Any bait rules? Any restrictions? Any what?
No live baits.
No live baits, no naturals.
A silly one, but a lot of these venues, when because we're going to have a match on them, they're huge wild venues.
Yeah.
So they stock them before, and normally they're stuck with like 2 kilos.
If you're lucky.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah.
2 kilos is a big one.
1 kilo, 500.
Yeah, they're big ones.
Oi, Rob, give me a call up. I can sort them out for you.
But like, your net's got to be a certain size, and obviously with little fish like that, ideally pan net, just scoop it up, rapid, get it out. But you're not allowed to. So you got to use a big net. You got to put that in a big sling or a sack, whatever you got to use. It's just it's the rules are made, in my opinion. They're not made by carp anglers.
No,
they're
no,
made by general anglers that sit on the board.
Yeah. But everyone's got the same rules, isn't they? What's the level of competition like? We referenced a little bit about the BCAC, about people sort of umming and ahhing about results, people sort of getting in people's swims, maybe trying to see stuff and all that stuff. What's it like on an international level when you're competing for your country and you go head to head with those nations? Is it like that BCAC stuff but treble 10,000, or is it pretty like respectful?
Now, there's always respectfulness there, isn't there? They're always, but it is a bit ruthless as well. Like the first time we went, I remember shaking one of the Ukrainians' hands, and literally when he shook my hand, like my whole body shook. He was that big. Like, and all the teams are like that. Majority of the teams, that 80% of the teams are absolute units.
What, bigger than you?
Yeah, not anymore, but there was. Now I'm one of the biggest. But yeah, and that's why I train. That's why I train so hard. So I'm one of the biggest there, and I can punch that spud further than the man next door, basically.
Has that made a difference to you spotting? The sort of, I don't know, overall sort of size, bulk.
Yeah.
What sort of difference? Give me a range.
Put like 20, 30 yards on
Has
me.
it?
Easy, anyway. Easy, and more probably. Like I can spam at 200 yards, and like when I unclip and fucking have a go, yeah, it goes. I don't like to say how far, like. But we're actually fishing at them distances.
Yeah,
we're not like chucking it and just opening. We're fishing, we're spamming there, and like all these. When we first seen it happen, we was like, oh my god, weren't we? Look, how are we going to compete with this? Like, but now we're out there. We're past them.
Is there those nations? So obviously, there's a learning curve for you there. You've sort of gone yourself to the gym, got the needs done the physical effort, got yourself being able to fish effectively and bait at that range. Have the other countries kicked on? Are they now 250? Are they now up there?
No. Because in the UK, we struggle to fish at 160, 170.
Yeah.
But that's every week for them. That's close range for them. Like they're fishing like huge waters, and they're doing it week in, week out. So to them, it's normal. But like, yeah, it's.
But they've got to that certain point. That 200 yards seems to be a golden distance, and then they've stopped.
Yeah.
Peaked at that. Yeah.
There ain't a kick on from there. What, Wayne, for you, your experiences with regards to that, the ruthlessness in it. What have you seen? What adaptations have you had to make when you sort of made that step up?
Be efficient, not even more. Like we touched on it earlier and said we never had the rigs ready for one of the BCACs. But in the World Champs, there's no excuse for that. You've got to be ready.
Ruthlessness. How ruthless is it? He referenced a bit being ruthless.
Just the people watching you. Sorry. Yeah, the people watching, the spotters. Remember in Serbia? So we've got off to a flyer in Serbia, and within...
Is this you guys together, yeah?
Yeah.
Within 5 minutes, there's 100 bods behind us.
100 people?
Yeah, it was the lake was in Belgrave, in the city centre of Belgrave, like bang in the centre, and there was all nightclubs and pubs and restaurants around and hotels around the lake. So you can imagine the life that was around the lake, all hours.
And it was just like a canal, just like a long thin strip. And at 150 metres was a wire, metal wire going all the way down. So you didn't have much to go at. And then you had a guy opposite you, didn't you? And there, at the beginning of that match, we noticed some bubbles, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just some bubbles in close. I said to Ryan, don't do nothing yet. Let me just have a little flick on them. I put a 1.5 ounce lead into these fish, into these bubbles. And I said, I can feel fish there. Didn't know whether it was bream or not. Lo and behold, there's little carp. And we banged 3 little carp in the first hour of the match. And within that, everyone's spotters, because every nation takes spotters with them and runners. They're on us. And we got cameras, binoculars on us, looking at... It was just couldn't turn around without seeing everyone sat in front of us. So we said, with the BCAC, you kind of get left alone a little bit. But there, in the World Champs, you've got eyes on you. If you're doing well, you've got eyes on you.
You mentioned prep and you mentioned rigs. What sort of prep are you doing for that with regards to sort of rigs, everything else?
We've got 20 rods ready to go. So we've invested a lot of money into rods and reels. Rigs, once we've worked it out, they're pretty standard, aren't they?
Yeah.
So we'll have maybe 50, 60 of what our go-to rig's going to be ready. They'll all be hanging up in the bivvy with the baits on, paste strap on, little stick on. So there's no messing about. If one rod blows up, you crack off, or you got a wind knot, sling that. There's no one to go.
Yeah, it is proper, isn't it? The dynamic of not just you two, but you two being part of a wider team. We talked about you being split a little bit earlier. The plan, the whole sort of way to fish, I'm guessing that's derived from Rob, the management team. There's a tactical chat between all of you interpreting, maybe if you've had a chance to go to the venue before and practice, or from what you've heard, you come up with a plan and then fish to that plan. Am I right in saying that? You don't just got free rein in that swim, have you?
No, but we do sometimes. We just we call it freestyling. Yeah. But the last couple of competitions, we've been in contention, so that hasn't happened, has it?
No, we had last year we had a plan, so
and stuck to it.
We'd fished hungry before,
okay,
and we'd made a mistake.
Talk to me about that. Talk to me.
Just the bait, the application, everything was wrong. We had a good practice, but in practicing sometimes it doesn't pan out how the match was.
Yeah.
And in the match we learned an awful lot. And it was like regroup, reset. And last year we went back with a plan that we had learnt from 4 years ago previously.
What's your plan?
Solubles. And it was there on the continent, on these matches, they make a massive, massive difference.
See, I've heard loads of things with regards to that whole thing, and I've spoke to lads who fished in it all, but there seems to be, like, I think it was South Africa, a reference. It was a flatulence medicine or something.
Yeah,
you talked about solubles there, where you are fishing and you are incredible anglers, and there's something that is key that is a bit used by the locals, not talked about. Maybe you don't cotton onto it in the first instance in Hungary or late in South Africa, but it has that much of a sort of a glaring night and day sort of switch when it's being used or being employed correctly or being used at all, that's the difference between you guys doing well and being in contention and you guys not necessarily doing so well. And they're things that really are tiny little percentages and little edges that we talked about before, but that in there make some incredible anglers, the best that we've got, ineffective on those venues. And it can be just as instant as that, can't it?
Yeah.
And you're saying for Hungary it was solubles.
Yeah. Simple as that.
But the last time we went out to Hungary, we had solubles, and Graham maybe actually made them for us, didn't they? And when we started banging them in, I think it was halfway through or towards the end of the competition, everyone's catch rate just went up a little bit, didn't it? So that's where we got that information from. Like we gathered it ourselves.
Yeah.
And so save on practicing this last year, we just come up with a plan. We've already, we've all spent like 3 days out there anyway, and plus we'd practice. And then we all come up with that plan of the solubles, went out there, and we basically, a lot, like Wayne said, a lot of the Europeans use solubles anyway. That's standard for them.
Yeah.
And we was always under the impression that you can't beat somebody at their game. But we did. Yeah.
Well, you did literally the same as what they would do. Are you using them as hook baits, or you just putting them out in a swim?
No, we was using matching hook baits, but obviously they weren't soluble.
Yeah.
Just we played their game, but angled better. That's what it was down to.
I still can't get over the fact that something's that. Do you know what I mean? That
good. Just
like click your fingers. Is 10 solubles and you've caught 10 carp. Is 10 boilies and you've not caught 10 carp. Do you know what I mean? That really on those type of venues as well. That I'm just thinking it in my head. A big old natural venue like that. You think they'd pick up anything when they'd come across it? Yeah. Well, no, there can't be something that just. But I don't know. What do you think it was with those solubles? Why do you think they were so effective?
I just think it's the breakdown on them, order. And you got to remember, when we go with our bait in this country has been boiled in water from this country. They don't get boiled. They're not boiled. So like, it could be, the pH level in the bait's not right for that lake. It's different. We're going down another road when we start talking.
Breaks down, doesn't it? It's breaking down and leaking flavour, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think it's a lot to do with the baits, the ingredients in the baits as well, the sourced from the local areas out there.
Right.
That's what I think it's down to, the minerals in the bait and the way it doesn't get boiled. Because you boil it, when you boil it, you're burning some of it away.
Yeah, of course.
And obviously pH level in it then changes. But with that, they're just left to air dry. So there is no pH. There's nothing to balance. It's neutral. What it's doing is breaking down from the off. That's what I think.
The actual matches themselves, before we go on to obviously the sort of success and results and that game, the matches themselves, how long's a match? It's longer than a BCAC. It's not 72 hours. So that's a longer period of time in terms of your angling. That angling there as a pair in a swim for that length of time at that level, that's got to be punishing.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie, it is. It's the extreme ranges, and like we're sticking these solubles out as well. Like we're putting these like 140, 150
with a stick.
Yeah, and that's hard work. Like that's constant as well. Like through the night, like in the day we can spot, but we're still putting them out in the day.
Yeah, you can't spot in dark, can you? Is that right?
Yeah, it's from
8 till 6, isn't it? 8 till 7. Something like that.
6 till 8, isn't it? 6 on the night till 8 in the morning.
You got to use a throwing stick from 6 till 8.
Yeah, you can't spot. People do, they do, but they don't put a bucket out like I've you hear them, just one spam or something. But we don't, there's no one around at that time.
What do you mean? But they can't do that. So
like we was talking about it when we was off camera, weren't we? Like
how ruthless they are?
Yeah, mate, they're corrupt, like you wouldn't believe. And
but surely you just go, is there not a marshal or someone just go?
Yeah, but they're like, I would not speak English.
That was in our first. I remember that incident. Yeah, that wasn't in the World Champs, was it? That was in the
it wasn't in a World, no, but it was
under Phipps rules.
Yeah, Phipps rules.
Yeah, we see it. So I know what you're talking about now.
You'd lose your head.
And you could see it coming back in the moonlight, couldn't we? Like skipping across the surface.
And you're sticking baits out.
Yeah, it does ruin you. Like when me and Wayne walked out that swim, when we just won, it weren't that bad, like, to be honest, because we'd won. So you're on adrenaline. You're on a high, but years past, when you're breaking your stuff down, it's a killer. Just carrying it to the
no sleep for that time.
No sleep. Well, we try not to have no sleep on the first night, but the second night catches up with you. So you will probably have he'll have a couple of hours while I'm awake, then I'll have a couple of hours while Wayne's awake, and then the same again the next night.
But we had all our fish.
Yeah.
Like,
in the night.
Yeah.
I think our first bite was like 6, 7 o'clock the first day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then it was all nighttime bites. Daytime just dried up. Nighttime.
So like you've always got people behind you as well.
Yeah.
Always, there's always someone behind. And like, you're lucky if you've only got 1 or 2 people. Most of the time, because they know the English are on the ball, you'll have, like, 10 people.
And you're building your peg for that night time when you can't spot. So during the day, you're spotting out. You're getting your bait.
You're doing all the disturbance, all the... Yeah.
Ready for them to come in at night.
I heard somebody made sure that you had even less time without sleep once, didn't he?
I'd like to see him fish a 96-hour match.
96 hours, mate.
Yeah, so... Look, we've won the gold, it's there.
I'm just going to slide out a few.
And also, to be fair, at least you've got an end result here, mate. That's a bad one, isn't it? Tell the people. To be fair, he's got away with a bit, so he needs to be stitched up with this one, mate.
So the night before the match...
this is Hungary, yeah?
Hungary. Yeah. Hungary last year. Gone to the hotel. Went out, had a meal with the lads. 8 o'clock, we all said, look, let's go home now. Go and get our heads down early night. Match day tomorrow. Get into bed. He's asleep straight away, and he's snoring like an absolute fucking walrus. So I've got my headphones on. Thought I'd watch a film on the iPad. Try and get some sleep. No, I can still hear him through the... I'll put a pillow over my head, and I've got the earphones on, and then I've bust the earphones now. I've taken the mattress into the bathroom.
Oh, that's desperate.
And it's like, I couldn't even get the mattress in there. So I ended up sitting up all night watching videos of YouTube of the match previously from 4 years ago. Just finding as much stuff as I could on YouTube about it, how people had done it, this, that and the other. And I woke up I didn't wake up in the morning. He woke up in the morning. My eyes are like stinging, bloodshot. And I'll be honest with you, I was hiding from Rob after the draw, because if you would have seen me, you're like, what the fuck's up to you? What happened to you? Like, I was shagged. Absolutely shagged. Anyway. Got into the match. And I sort of like got myself together. Just soldiered through it. But on the final night, bearing in mind the first 2 nights, we'd had fish all through the night.
So you've been up already?
I've now done my 72
hours
or whatever. Yeah, 72 hours. Going into the final night, then it froze. It was like -4, -2 that night, and I was freezing. I was just sat there with him. I said, look, I've got to go and put my feet in my sleeping bag. I've got to get warm. I'm tired. I'm cold.
Yeah.
Got into bed, and I must have just passed out straight away. I've got a take. I've come out, and I don't know where I was. I picked up the rod, but I'm wobbling all over the place. And I'm like, I don't know where I am, what I'm doing. I'm having to pinch myself, slap myself, and all I can hear is him laughing. I'm half coming round now, and I'm like, can you take the rod? I need to sort myself out, mate. I don't know where I am. I'm sleep deprived. I'm fucked.
I'm in a bad place.
Yeah,
here,
I'm in
mate.
a bad place. And he's just crying. And I'm like, what's up with you? And I was like, right, take the rod. And he's like, no, let me get my phone. And I've sort of like now come round, and he's like clicking away, and I can see this flash. I'm like, I've looked at my feet. I've got my right shoe on my left foot, and I've got my right croc on my left croc. So I've got an odd shoe on, and they're both on the wrong feet.
That's why I was crying.
You were taking a photo?
Yeah, he's taking pictures of me.
Oh, that's bad.
Don't worry about the feet.
Get this gold medal. And he's put you there as well with his snoring.
Yeah.
That's bad, man.
And I was absolutely hanging.
Did he take the rod after that?
No, but I took the coin off him because it was the biggest fish in the match, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
How big was it?
7 kilos.
£12.
7.6 kilos or something like that.
£30.
That whole match, like, bar the absolute, I don't know how you got through that. Fair play to you. I thought I'd deal without sleep, but that's unreal. That whole match, that sort of accumulation of everything you'd experienced leading up to that, how things played out. I remember probably like the biggest sort of, probably more so than Spain, like a massive buzz when that sort of result came through, like as a community. I feel that was like go on the boys. That was like a proper like, do you know what I mean? So I can only imagine what that felt like to you. But that whole competition, how did that play out? Because the thing is, it ain't like a leaderboard like you'll see at the BCAC. There's all sorts of different sections, points, deductions, FIPS scoring, all sorts of like maths that just means that it ain't that black and white always, is it?
No. You said earlier, someone caught a fish which knocked us down from a gold medal position into third position, wasn't it, in Serbia?
Yeah.
So sometimes you're relying on other countries to do you a favour.
Towards the end, when we're in the peg, we don't really we leave that part to Rob and Graham. That's we're just there to catch the fish. They'll tell us how we're doing, but like we're not really interested. We just keep catching the fish, just keep doing what we're doing, and then obviously the results will come in as they come in. But they don't. Sometimes you don't get a result until like an hour after the match. Like we didn't even know that we'd won. Or everyone's coming up to us going, "Oh, well done, you've won," and all this. And we're like, "Why? What's happened?" Literally,
you didn't know.
Nah?
You didn't know, no, because who was the team?
I think it was Serbia.
Serbia, that we heard that they had caught fish, and they'd made a joke gesture to Graham, saying that it was going to knock us out because myself and Ryan, we won that section, A section, but the Serbs would have knocked us into second, which would have put England down into second overall.
Yeah, knocked you off the top spot.
And we didn't know. We was hearing that they'd caught. Graham said, "Look, they have caught. I'm with them. They've caught. I can see the fish in the net. I can see their slings in the water." So we was just like, it's out of our hands. And it took an hour to officially get the results. Maybe longer than that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was longer.
Maybe 2 hours because there was fish being weighed still. And then by the time I got the results, it's just like, I've 90 hours in here. I'm fucked.
You must have been all right hearing that you've won that, though.
Is it quite subdued? For me, it's quite subdued.
Was it?
Yeah, because I was so tired.
Right.
And I was, yeah, I was happy, but I think I was so tired, and it had just taken so long.
That time had just,
it was just like I was empty. I had nothing left in the tank. Like the boys went out to party, didn't we? The night. Stuart Lawson generously he helped us this year. Great man. Gave us a few grand to go and party with, and I had one drink, and I said I was done.
Standard night out for him, I bet.
Yeah. Well, I don't drink, like, mate, I did that night, didn't I? The next day.
That's some punishment, mate, though, isn't it? Like what you put yourselves through.
Yeah, I was hurting. I think I lost a stone out there. Because my body, when I fish a match, I go into shut down, don't I?
Yeah.
Can't eat.
I'm always telling him in matches,
you need to
I always cook something. Obviously, I'm always eating. I'm like, eat that, stop. Eat that, drink that, stop. Do you know what I mean?
I struggle to eat. Yeah, like my body just shuts down. Like with the adrenaline, I drink, but I can't eat. I can't physically eat.
Eat some protein shakes or something to get in you, boy, didn't you? Got to go on some liquid diet or something for the old champs. You need to research that. But to be fair, you also lack of sleep. That's one thing. The level of angling, the scrutiny, the sort of tactical ins and outs analysis, the team stuff. And mate, we look at our team and the amount of knowledge that you guys must be able to compile to formulate plans and to angle, like unbelievable. Like not only did you do that on a sort of a BCAC level, but you extrapolate that to the other pairs as well. And boy, like you're in good hands in terms of all that. But you do put yourself through it. Was it your feet in South Africa?
Yeah.
I remember seeing that and thinking, you're mental and like, ow. Like they looked bad, mate.
Mate, that was bad, wouldn't they? But I didn't say anything to anybody.
Because you didn't want to get sucked.
He's the only person that knew, and I was just carrying on. Like, but Rob said to me, he said, "What are you limping for?" I said, nothing. Don't worry, like, I'm all right. And then he stayed in the swim, didn't he, for a bit. And he could see I was limping all over the place. And he said, "Are you okay?" Like, I was like, "Yeah, I'm all right. He was like, "Look, I think you need to come out." I was like, "No, I'm okay. I'm okay."
So basically, you'd stood in the water, hadn't you? Just spomming.
Yeah.
Hadn't you?
Yeah.
What sort of range were you spomming at? Long?
Well, yeah, because in South Africa, it was like, it was ridiculous, wasn't it? How shallow it was ridiculous, honestly.
We had it, our intel there was completely wrong with it.
Yeah,
fucked it.
Nightmare. It was just,
I know.
There was like tree roots and that, but not or not stumps, like roots coming out of the lake bed and stuff. And the gradient of the lake was so bad, like as in shallow, you know, like you'd have to be casting like ridiculous distances to get like 4 or 5 foot.
Yeah, we had to go past the bait that we put in the first 24 hours because we had 300 carp.
Oh, this
300 carp in the first 24 hours, 48 hours that didn't weigh.
300 carp.
Ridiculous, mate.
Like every cast, bang. As soon as it dead went down, bang, carp. And they were like,
what, a pound?
1 kilo, yeah.
What, they got a beat away?
1 kilo, 500. And these things were tiny. We just got the tactics wrong, and it just drew all the little ones in. The guys either side of us are catching proper ones, and they're fishing 30, 40 yards out by the end of the match. And we're having to smash 160 yards just to get away from all the little ones within our
Because you put that hit of bait out and they're all on it.
Yeah.
And you were basically in the water, no shoes, all day, and you got like trench foot going on, didn't you?
Mate, they only, and this is the truth, I only sorted them out, got them back to normal about 6-7 months ago.
Shut up.
Honestly, took that long to sort them out, didn't it? Took that long to sort them out. Because that's what once you get trench foot, you've got it. That's it. If your feet get sweaty or wet again,
it flares up.
Yeah, it just comes back. It don't go anywhere. So I've had to get all. I'm not going to go into it, like, you know, it's not. But yeah, it took that long to get it sorted, and that was 2018. No, 2019, wasn't it?
Yeah, just before lockdown, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You did it again, though, wouldn't you? You got a gold medal now.
Yeah, of course. I do it all again, mate.
You live in the dream. That is mega, isn't it? That feeling of like presentation, getting that gold medal. I know initially you're battered, courtesy of him.
But there was no greater feeling than being on stage with my brothers, like my teammates, arms around each other, singing that national anthem.
Yeah.
Like,
I could still hear Harry in me.
Yeah. It was that feeling there. Like, at the end of the match, I was knackered. But by the time I'd gone home, had a shower, freshened up.
Yeah.
The round of, I remember walking into that arena and everyone giving us a standing ovation, and just the hairs on my arms. I was like, that's for us. That's for me. That's what. And then to stand on that stage with Ryan and the rest of the lads.
Yeah, man.
It's an honour, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate. That is like, I mean, yes, brilliant. BCAC, incredible. You've won that. Best in the country. Then to be best in the world at anything is like, yeah, that's dream stuff, isn't it?
I think, didn't we come fourth overall as well?
Yeah, yeah,
because
didn't they?
Yeah, and I was like, it's called us up, but like they're speaking in Hungarian. And obviously, we ain't got a clue what they're saying.
Idea.
And then we've just heard like Wayne Mansford and Ryan Need. Like, what's this? We just sat there. We are. What's this? Like,
Said, no,
and
you
Rob's like, get up, like you've been called up.
Yeah, because we've won our section.
Oh, right.
But it split sections. And they stood us next to the stage, and it was basically like, this is what you could have won.
Yeah.
It was one of them.
Fourth, third, and second of first, like, all on the podium.
Mate,
I know.
madness of a world. But what an incredible thing to do, experience, and like be involved with, mate. That is different level, regardless of any sort of match fishing. That is the very pinnacle, mate. And you've done it, and you've got the gold right there, which I will take a photo of, mate. Might even steal and wear out tonight. What I was going to say, with regards to the team and sort of probably like an element that's maybe not spoken about is the finance to make this all happen for our country, for our team. I know obviously you referenced Stu Lawson, you referenced people that may have contributed within the sort of industry, but a lot of other teams, they're backed, aren't they? Travel's paid. Yeah. Like, it's a proper, I don't want to say that because that's very condescending, but it is as you would deem it, a real legitimate sort of subsidised team. Yeah. They go out, they practice, they've got resourcing, they've got all that.
And they're getting paid for their time off.
And they're getting paid, exactly. And I remember talking to Bev about this similarly with like ladies, men's split. But it's the same for you boys. You're spending an awful lot of money. You've got time off work. You've got great jobs and businesses that need to be supported when you're away. Yes, you've come back with an incredible result and a gold medal. What do you think? What do you think needs to be done for that to sort of kick in, whereby there is some funding about for us to sort of push on? We're getting the results. Like, it's incredible. We've got gold medals. We've got a history of being a successful team. Why do you think we haven't add the sort of, I don't know, recognition financially backing the success that we've had. Because if you look at comparable success in other sports, and I'm not talking football and wider, bigger sports, I'm talking about maybe more niche sports like hockey, for example. We've had a couple of gold medals. They've got a full-time program where people are funded. Like, there is money out there for certain sports. Why don't you think we've had that recognition?
I think a lot of the general public just actually see, when you say carp angling or just fishing, I've got a picture in their mind of just a big fat man just sitting on a box with a float, and that's how it gets. That's how I'd say 90% of the British public think about angling. They wouldn't think, like, you know, we're in this lush tent, nice lovely bed. You know what I mean? That's not how it's out there like that, is it? Really? It's
probably a
more
question
people.
that you'd have to ask Sport England.
Yeah.
Why not to us? Why are you funding these but not these guys?
A few years ago, we was I think it was when we was on the way to France. Do you remember when we bumped into the equestrian team? GB equestrian team on the tunnel. That was
Zara Phillips or whatever. They're all knocking about.
That was going somewhere. I don't know where they was going. It was all sign written up, GB equestrian team. And we got talking to them because we all had our reds on. And we was talking about funding and stuff like that. And I was amazed that we weren't funded. There was like,
what gets me, right, is we've got, like, there's a lot of, like, social media profiles, views, following with a lot of our anglers. Like, there's an audience there. It ain't like it could go unnoticed. If somebody sees the information's accessible out there, isn't there? A lot of people nowadays, like, have got a good hit of Instagram followers, TikTok following, big brand supporting it. There's money within the industry. There's money within and sort of eyeballs within the sport of carp fishing. We've also got the results. We've also got a history of it. Everything adds up to, why weren't you backing that? We're doing all right in that. Do you know what I mean? That these boys are having to front a lot of the bill, a lot of their time. And let's say you weren't as sort of passionate, as driven, as fortunate. Not that you're fortunate, you've made your life yourself. But if you couldn't do that, we wouldn't have the results. We wouldn't have all that. And unfortunately, it becomes a bit sad in that it comes down to sort of backing, funding and stuff like that. But it does, and opportunities don't arise. It's not accessible for everybody to be able to do that, is it? But I think that's definitely an area where, like you said before, Sport England and the likes of, it's definitely something that, I don't know how they justify that not having some aspect of funding within it.
Maybe, you know, it's a working man sport, isn't it, fishing? It's our national sport as well. Like, you know, more people take part in fishing than they do football, so it's our national sport. But yet, like you say, you know, nothing's funded. I think a lot of the other teams, they're funded. The float team, feeder team, whole team, they're all funded.
Hopefully, it will disband its way down, boys, and we'll get there.
Can't see it
hopefully,
but thankfully, at the moment, Stuart and Outlaw are backing us, and I think that took a lot of the pressure off last year, didn't it?
Yeah, like Wayne said. Stuart Outlaw Pro, he sponsored us last year, and he took so much pressure off everybody. I just think it's not.
Together, didn't it?
Yeah,
but we was able to go.
Yeah,
I don't think we was lording it up, but the first night we flew over there. He flew us over there, and then put us in a hotel. It was like a bit of a spa, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we was able to have a nice meal. Next morning we got up, went had a swim, had a sauna, and everyone was together, like having a laugh. Where before we've been on like campsites, staying in back gardens of houses, and then it's pissed down with rain and you're trying to sort your kit out. We had a nice little setup last year, and that was all thanks to Stu. So it took a lot of pressure off. So everyone before the match was really relaxed. We was all getting good night's sleep up until the final night. But yeah, it was just, he just took the pressure off last year, and you could just feel the difference within the camp. I feel.
Yeah, definitely. Any good team, you know, any sport or anything, when that team pulls together and they do things together and they become friends, that's when when they excel. And that's what happened with us. I mean, we're all friends anyway and mates, but when we went out there was no pressure. It's like, right, this is what we've got to do. Let's do this. We didn't have to worry about like just food or a car or petrol or there's nothing to worry
you see
about.
That, didn't you? That sort of level of, I don't know, you get that spirit. I'm a Leicester City fan. That Leicester City season we won the league, unbelievable. You're like ridiculous, but that comes from something. You've got to create that, and as you say, if you've got that pressure off when you get there, even if it's just accommodation and the fact that you're together and it's more Do you know what I mean? Obviously, that's going to equate to better things. Maybe it's a survey, put some pressure on Sport England job and make something happen. I don't know. I don't know how you do it because I'm not educated enough with the realms of accessing funding, but surely it's got to happen. I'm sure if anybody can do it, Hughesy can do it.
Hughesy can. I think he's already tried, mate.
Yeah, he'll do it, Hughesy will, mate. He'll get a result. For you, sort of looking forward, I know that you're going out September to France to defend.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about that? What are you saying, boys?
We kind of know what to expect, really, on fishing. We fished in France a few years back. So it's going to be the same sort of thing. We've watched a few videos, but yeah, we just got to go out there and just do the same as what we've done last time. But
Wayne, confident result?
Always confident.
Come on, England. It's going to happen, isn't it, boys? 2 in a row. Yeah. For you two, future aspirations. We've obviously got another gold on its way. The ever sort of highly contested coin that will change. It might not change hands ever again. I don't know.
I doubt it, Hassan. I doubt it.
What else? BCAC. Is that another realistic target? Win it again? What's the next? You said to me at the very start of the podcast, if I remember rightly, there's a target and then there's always, once it's achieved, there's always readdress and go again. What's that? What's the readdress and go again?
We've set another goal, but that's for me.
Oh, it's one of these closed shops, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something close to us. So
okay,
we'll come back on once we've achieved it.
Nice.
Tell you that we've done it.
I like that.
So,
what keeps you going? You look right. I'm going to be brutal. Right, you've done it. You've won it. You've won it twice. You got absolutely nothing to prove in terms of domestically with your match fishing. Yes, you like competing, but what keeps you, especially domestically, what keeps you wanting to enter, wanting to get involved, wanting to do that?
Just competing. We like to compete.
But you smash it. You smash it time and time again. Is it just to prove to yourselves that you can still smash it, and that there's no up and comers that are going to knock you off, or what?
That's what we do. And it ginger. I know that sounds a bit blasé, but that's what we do. No, it's just we just like doing it. Like
competitive, and we want to be British number one. At the moment, Cole and Rob have got that title, and well, they're back in it this year, and we're not in it this year, but next year, whoever's got it, we're coming for you.
Gosh,
we're coming. We're coming.
It's like one of those Sky Sports boxing end trailers. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're coming for you.
Now we are. Like, we really wanted to do it this year, but because one of our friends is getting married, we had to pull out. But yeah, next year we're going for it. Yeah.
Watch this space.
Sport to settle.
Boys, I can't thank you enough for coming in. I can't thank you enough for sharing your experiences, for being really open, honest, and upfront on loads of different issues. I'm sure that the guys really have appreciated sort of hearing it from the horse's mouth, and also just, I think for me, a massive reality check for what exactly match fishing is, because I don't do it. I sort of look at it from afar and go, mega. I've seen you guys angle individually, but the dedication, the level at which you angle, and sort of the rightful adulation you get for your results, you're just proving it there by your talk. It's committed. It's everything that I thought it would be and more. So hats off to you, boys. Before you go, you've got some quick fire questions. All right, boys? You ready?
Yep.
I'm going to go one at a time. We'll go Mr. Need first. Individual gold or team gold? Pick one.
Team.
Oh, so well, you're definitely saying individual because there's been coins there. 3 celebrities you'd take fishing. Let's go Wayne. Who are you taking? They could be past or present, mate. You can resurrect some if needs be.
Michelle Keegan.
Nice first pick. He's got a keen interest in carp.
Mate, there's no fishing going down there.
100%.
Well, I want someone to make me a cup of tea. You ain't there. Who's going to make it?
You've just expanded this into absolute shock. She's got a keen interest in how to catch at long distance, I'm sure.
Thierry Henry.
All right. Ooh la la. Va va voom. What? Arsenal fan, isn't he? That's why.
Yeah. One more.
You've had a shocker this season, boy, haven't you? We've got relegated, but at least we haven't.
I was going to say, what are you piping up there?
Oi, mate, you've had a shocker. I'd rather get relegated than bottle it. Do you know what I mean?
That's a tough one. There's so many celebrities out there.
Yeah. You've gone football. You've gone the world of popular entertainment.
Yeah.
Someone interesting.
Yeah, someone that could educate me.
Go on.
Mine's gone blank. Can you come back to me on this?
Yeah, I'll come back to you. Go on, right.
Number 1, probably Conor McGregor.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that would be a good one. You too.
Second, it'd probably be Rod Hutchinson. I fished next to him years ago at Rainbow, and some of the stuff he does and says, it's just funny, geezer.
You fished next to him at Rainbow?
Yeah, him and Mo, yeah.
Mate, that's incredible. What a story that is. That's a whole podcast.
I've got a little story that I'll tell you after.
Well, away from the cameras, I like this. You got one more each, boys.
That's one. Wayne? I know he ain't a celebrity, but
he is.
He's my partner, isn't he?
You've seen his Instagram and his videos. He's definitely a celebrity. He's made it. What are you going for?
Do you know what I was going to say? Warren Buffett, but...
Yes, nice one. Absolutely.
And I feel bad now.
That is...
I was going to... Do you know what? I was going to say, and I thought, no, that's too cringy.
You don't need to say anything now.
No,
I'm just
I just fucking ruined the friendship now.
Darkness, my old friend.
No, I'm not. I ain't got. I'm not. Like, celebrities don't. You know.
He's done you, mate. It's over now, but it's brilliant, mate. That's really well played.
I'm sweating now. I feel bad.
That is.
You'll be walking home.
Yeah,
I'm fucking driving. You're getting the bus stops at the end of the road. I'll drop you there.
That is a belter. Drum and bass or country and western?
D&B all day.
Where you going?
D&B. Not a massive fan, but
I'll take it ahead of country and western. Here's a good one. You can answer this collectively. Dream pair that you'd love to have a head-to-head match with. 2 anglers that you'd love to put in a pair and have a head-to-head match with. Who would you pick? I like that question.
I know mine straight away.
Go on.
Settle a score. Bart and Kev.
Would you?
Yeah, I was going to start that come into my head straight
2-2.
away. Look,
they've won it twice.
We've
won it twice. They've had a second. We've had a second. Let's have it out. Who's the best?
Let's stick it on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
People would pay to watch that, wouldn't they? I'm like Eddie Hearn, mate. Come on, boys. Sign on the old contract.
Living off the back of other people's glory.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've done. I've got nothing, boys. I've got absolutely nothing to contribute here. One rig, one venue.
Ronnie and Farlow's.
Oh, nice.
Zig on Cuttle Mill.
Cuttle Mill, what a classic.
That's where I learned my trade.
Yeah, what a classic venue, mate. From through. What's your idea of carp fishing hell? Let's go, Ryan.
Boston.
Boston, you fished it,
I hate it, mate. Like, literally, he has to, like, talk me into it. I hate it. Like, honestly, I hate it.
That's how much he loves competition. He will fish a venue he hates.
Yeah.
Right, fair dues.
Pushing a fucking barrow around the lake.
Really?
Yeah.
Not even a power barrow?
Nah, I made mate to drive my gear the other week when I got to that lake, didn't I?
Yeah,
You made him drive it? You?
I got a power barrow. I was like, I can't be tossed with that, mate. I'll give you a score. Will you drive that round?
Fair dues. No, not a barrow fan. Who'd win in a fight? You two?
Light work.
Who? You giving it to him?
Yeah.
He's big though, and he might be a
big.
bit slow.
He's slow, that's it. That's what I mean.
You'd have him?
Yeah.
What do you
What do
feel?
you
I'll just
reckon?
sit on him. He's a fucking pencil.
I think a lot depends. I think a lot depends. A lot depends what happens on that initial few seconds, I think. If he gets a hold, you're in trouble. If you can manage to get away...
I'll slip through him like a worm, wouldn't I?
Like a worm! I like what he's done there. Final question, boys. Night in with the respective missuses or night out on the bank together? What you taking?
At the moment, for me, a night with the missus, but probably in a year's time, a night on the bank.
Good.
I want a bit tonight, so a night.
I'm not editing this tonight, mate. I tell you what. Boys, thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching and listening. I'm sure you found that insightful and interesting. I'll be back soon with another podcast. Until then, Wayne, Rye, thank you very much, boys.
Cheers,
Thanks
mate.
for having us.